We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President, Mike Pence, and his wonderful wife, Karen.
And when we do all that, I believe with all my heart, over the next 4 years, we're going to bring this country together. America will be stronger than ever before, more jobs and opportunities than ever before. And America will be a place where every American, regardless of race or creed or color or income, can work and worship in freedom, choose where their child goes to school, find a good paying job, and live the American dream.
How?
So thank you for coming out tonight.
Butthole!
I'm going to get on my way and...
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
But I must tell you, it's the greatest honor of my life to be your vice president, and I want to thank
everybody.
you for the privilege.
Welcome. We're going to take this very seriously.
And in all my travels across this country, from big cities to small towns over the last 4 years,
You'll have nobody guarding your potatoes.
I can tell you firsthand, America is a freedom-loving nation, and America is a nation of faith.
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it
And
aroused.
as we open up America again and reclaim the freedom that we were willing to set aside for the health of our neighbors, I can't help but think that we come into this year cherishing and appreciating our freedom even more. So every
I got news
day
for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now.
November
Jack
3rd,
and shit.
go out
Jack left
and
town.
defend the freedom that's always made this nation great.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Hi, everybody. Hi, Philly Dana. Hello. Thanks for the super hearts.
And
wow.
while you're doing it, have faith. Faith that in these challenging times, that if his people who are called by his name will humble themselves and pray, he'll do like he's always done through the long and storied history of this land. He'll hear from heaven. He'll heal this land, this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
Hey, Brian.
for all.
Hey, Christina. Thank you.
Pray for America.
Yeah, you're going to, if Trump stays in, yeah, definitely pray for Americans if
Ladies and
Trump stays
gentlemen,
in.
President Donald Trump is the real deal. He's a man who says...
He's a man who, if you want somebody to sleep with a prostitute while their wife has just has a 5-month-old at home.
What he means and means what he says. He never quits. He never
except when he does. He occasionally declares bankruptcy.
Down. And I can tell you firsthand, he's never stopped fighting to keep the promises that he made to the American people. And now it's our turn to fight for him.
Is it?
And I just know that with your continued support and prayers, every day between now and November 3rd,
will be a shitstorm of nonsensical tweet farts and garbage attacks at people who he has no business picking fights with. You know, your fellow Americans.
We're going to have that great American comeback. We're going to make Oklahoma and America stronger and more prosperous than ever before. And with President Donald Trump in the White House for 4 more years, and with God's help.
Well, you're going to need the second one if the first one happens.
We will make America great again.
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 Right, Jesus.
Thank you, Oklahoma. God bless you.
Songs of a thing. This is a song I'd never listen to. Mom won't let me. Mother says rock and roll is the devil's music, yeah. That sounds like Pence singing. Coming up over New York City. Uh-oh. It's time. Did they cut the sound? Or is that me? No, that was... That Yahoo? That might be Yahoo News cutting the sound because of the songs. We'll see in a couple seconds, I think. Thanks, Joyce. Hi. The BS Translator Fund. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Criminy. So he's supposed to start now. This is supposed to be his portion. They're going to play some sort of video, I'm guessing. And by the way, 1 million tickets? Hi, folks, but 1 million tickets. 1 million tickets. Am I missing something here? He's supposed to go on at 8 o'clock their time, 7 o'clock Central in Tulsa, 5 o'clock right now. This is when he's supposed to be there already. Maybe he's giving the speech outside and people are waiting outside to get in, but I don't think so. But 1 million tickets. Yeah. In the business, this is what we call still tickets available. As my dad would say, Jesus. There's a song that we're playing in the buddy doody booty, fuddly doo, figgly boo. Come on, America, it's a half-filled stadium. Maybe it's, I don't know what the excuse would be. Well, notice they wouldn't let some of the people, you think they canceled the outside speech? Really? Ah. Look at this. Look at this crap turnout. Pardon us while we gloat at this. Yeah, that's pretty pitiful. And here's the thing. I wouldn't have cared less, neither would you. Honestly, nobody would. If they'd just gone, they were rallying, and I would go, oh, it's a little sparse, but he's having a rally, and it's COVID, and there's other stuff. But this whole, we had 1 million people wanted a ticket. His excuse will be BLM protesters. Yeah. Clearly all these black people have ruined it for everybody. America, it's a song with a thing, and the dude is dancing with an American flag and matching hat on right down there. I'm gonna make America great again. Here's a kid bored running around his dad who doesn't know why he's there, but they got paid. Who is this dude wandering through with the Secret Service guy looking for some sketchy? You're like, there's a lot of room here. Yeah, where is Lee Greenwood when you need him? I wonder if anybody in the chat of this thing is noticing, because this is it's so empty. That's like the first thing I saw. It's small, sad crowd, super empty, hilarious. Well, it's America, yeah. Yeah. So, let me see if I can find another station. And hi, everybody. Here, I'll put the. I don't know. Maybe he should be with me. Thank you so much. Oh, V. Gabriel, thank you so much. Philip, my chat room is more full than that place right now. Look at that. I got more viewers than there are watching my show right now on YouTube than there are in Trump's stadium right now. Seriously. Hilarious. See if, by the way, this is, shall we do him? Yeah, 1 million tickets. Here he is leaving. This is his statement before leaving. Let's give it a shot.
So we had a very good decision in the John Bolton book case.
No, they didn't.
And
the horse has already left the barn. The book's already out. The only good part is Bolton may end up paying all of his royalties, but the book still comes out. What a waste of time.
He was very powerful in his statements on classified information, and very powerful also in the fact that the country will get the money, any money he makes. So I hope a lot of books, well, I probably don't hope that, but whatever.
I hope a lot of books get so, well, I hope they actually don't. Nobody cares.
He's going to be
Screw him, and you too. It's hilarious.
giving back, in my opinion, based on the ruling. He's going to be giving back. I think the judge was very smart and very indignant at what Bolton did.
Yeah, he should have testified.
It was a great ruling. Obviously, the book was already out and leaked and everything else, but he leaked classified information, so he's got a big problem.
So if he leaked classified information, that means everything he talks about in the book is true.
The event in Oklahoma is unbelievable. The crowd.
Oh, I can't. Oh, please, CNN. Like, tell me the crowd is removing the. Hold on. Tell me the crowd is removing the. I'll find it. The CNN thing.
They're unbelievable. They haven't seen anything like it, and we will go there now. We'll give a hopefully good speech.
Hopefully good speech. Sounds great. Great English. Thanks. Well done.
We see a lot of great people, a lot of great friends, and pretty much that's it. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's all up to the Attorney General. Attorney General Barr is working on that. That's his department, not my department.
No, you're the only one who could fire him.
But we have a very capable
Thank you, Christina, for the hearts.
Attorney General, so that's really up to him. I'm not involved.
I'm not involved. Yeah, you are.
The U.S. economy is doing very good.
India?
The U.S. economy is doing very good. But countries in Europe and Asia are not doing very badly. What is your suggestion?
The U.S. economy is doing amazingly well. That's right. Thank you.
What is your suggestion to other countries?
Yeah, I would say that the numbers that we're doing are record-setting numbers. We have record-setting job numbers. We have record-setting, as you know, retail sales numbers that just came out. The U.S.
They're not record-setting. We lost 30 million jobs. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to be out of work for years.
The economy is doing very, very well.
And what is your assessment of the situation
Yeah, that's right. You can't leak a lie.
between India and China, sir?
It's a very tough situation. We're talking to India. We're talking to China. They've got a big problem there. They've come to blows, and we'll see what happens. We'll try and help them out.
They've come to blows. Yeah, Chinese soldiers are beating Indian soldiers to death and vice versa.
See you in Oklahoma.
Wow, so see you in Oklahoma. Oh, go away. This is the thing. Hold on, here we go. Still nothing. That's pretty pitiful. I need more. I need more. Like ridiculous numbers of. I have so many links and folders and stuff. It's just silly. Yep, still holding for that. Let's see. Trump cancels outdoor speech. See if that comes up. Campaign cancels outdoor speeches at the rally. Trump campaign cancels president's speech to Tulsa's outdoor crowd on the Daily Mail. Wait, CNN, Trump cancels overflow crowd due to low turnout. Oh, that's so great. Look at that. Oh, hold on. Here you go. Check this out. Oh, this is glorious. Look at that. 1 million people. Get out of here. Oh, this is pitiful. Shall we play? They're going to run an ad. I just know it, but we'll see what they part of it. Toilet paper. Something horrifying. I don't know, whatever their ad campaign is. Buy a mask. Don't go outside.
Let's confront America's deep divide together. I'm Don Lemon. Join me for my new podcast, Silence is Not an Option. Listen on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
The campaign has said that President Trump and Vice President Pence both will not speak outdoors as they had originally planned.
Gee,
both
you think?
planned to give remarks. The vice presidents were supposed to be about 20 minutes, 30 minutes ago. The vice president instead went straight into the indoor part of the arena. The president will not come outside as he had originally planned, and that's because, as you can see, there is almost no one here. The outdoor part of this event has been completely emptied out. There were perhaps a few dozen
they're playing the video.
earlier
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the, where is it? Let's go back. They're playing the video. America, do moo, beedly do, America, be do. They trying to do the wave or something? Oh, they're playing Lee Greenwood and they won't play it over the audio? I don't know. We'll see. From my buttocks to my brain pan, there's no difference there at all. And I barely do. Yeah, by the way, here's the, this is the Trump campaign's video. This is their own campaign link for the YouTube channel for the Trump campaign. That's the picture of him, by the way. Kind of a, not quite the same turnout. That's from a different rally. But look at in the lower corner. Let's see if I can get this in here. See that? It says waiting for Donald J. Trump. 5 p.m. It's 5:11. You're a little late there, pal. Oh, this is, guys, this is gonna be so sweet. Do you have any idea how angry he is that the turnout is so pathetic? Do you have any idea? He looks more awkward. Oh, is he coming? Is this him? Are they playing the music and they're getting ready for this? They're singling in. Why is there no sound, Yahoo? Oh. Yeah, look at this. All right. Look at all these empty seats in this head. Oh, I knew it. And no doubt, I've got no crowd. Where did you go, USA? Oh my God. Yeah, cancel the outdoor speech, half empty. Tell me all about million tickets. We love you! Okay. Sign that check. Oh, there's a wobble arm. That's not happening. Dude with a mask. Oh. Oh, that's his. This is theirs. Oh, God. Terrible. Shop Donald Judge. I'm going to leave it on their site because that's funny. This is funny for a couple reasons. Thank you, Lisa Mi Amor. And nobody showed up to my big dumb Tulsa rally and will gladly cough on everyone and spread COVID here today. And there ain't no doubt. Oh, man. Okay, good job getting the black actors back there. There you are. Look at you. Oh, this is gonna be pitiful. And they're gonna oh God. Drag it out. Oh my God. Oh. The throw up. Oh, that was very dramatic. I never heard that part. Dig a doom. By the way, I had the Yahoo News, I guess, feed of this on, and their camera was way better. This is the campaigns. So the quality of the internet and video you're seeing today, this is the quality of the that the campaign is bringing. That's the amazing part. Thank you so much. Thanks for the super chats. You guys, wonderful. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and a like and all that kind of, oh yeah, he's milking it because he hasn't got much to say. He's got double. Is he going to give the same speech twice? Ugh, thank you. Oh, it's going to be so sweet. That fake news back there won't show you how full it is and how full the top is and how full the... I'm not normally this blurry.
Thank you. Thank you. So we begin, Oklahoma, we begin. Thank you, Oklahoma. And thank you to Vice President Mike Pence. We begin our campaign.
They're singing happy birthday to him. Thanks, Joe. We got you exactly what you wanted. A half-empty stadium and a canceled speech because nobody's outside. You don't even have to unwrap it. It's already
We
there.
begin our campaign, and I just want to thank all of you. You are warriors. I've been watching.
They're going to be fighting COVID.
I've been watching the fake news for weeks now, and everything is negative. Don't go, don't come.
Is the audio?
Don't do anything today.
Yeah, hold on. This is so weird. Give me 1 second, because that's the campaigns thing, and I gotta open up another source to get the audio because it's literally lagging so badly. See if this comes back up.
Of every race, color, religion, and creed.
This is, by the way, this is Fox's feed or whatever. It's the audio and the video's in sync, and it's actually in focus.
Of the party of liberty, equality, and justice for all. We are the party of Abraham Lincoln, and we are the party of law and order.
We are the party of the suspension of habeas corpus, and we're the party of Confederate flags. You know. Nothing says law and order like wearing a flag of sedition on your jacket.
Think of what we've done.
I am. We've worn Chinese ties and Chinese flag pins. We put ads in paper to hire actors, and we still couldn't fill this dump.
We'll have close to 300 federal
Thank you, Paul.
judges appointed and approved by the end of my first time. That's an all-time
Your first time? You mean your first term?
record. That's an all-time record.
Yeah, and the judges you put in told your Second Amendment cases to go pound sand and defended DACA and LGBT rights. I'm sure everyone is jumping through their shirt about this. Speaking about jumping through your shirt, is he double neck-ginaing it today? Normally just has the one. There are two neck-ginas happening. That's right. Ugh.
I've always heard how important judges are.
Now I know. That's why I had my AG fire a prosecutor, because I was about to be judged.
We know how important they are. Think of that, over 300, around 300 by the end of the term. And when we have another 4 years, we're going to have a big, big percentage of the total number. Very important. November 3rd.
Yeah, remind everybody. Bring a friend. And next time I have a rally, bring them too. P.S. A bunch of these assholes traveled here. Remember that. Remember that.
Supreme Court judges. So we have 2 justices of the Supreme Court.
Both who sided against you this week.
Justice.
Notice how quiet it got?
Justice Kavanaugh. They're great. They're great. They're great.
Booze.
We have 2.
We have 2, so there's that. And where was I?
We could get a few more. Yeah, we could get a few more. We've spent over $2 trillion to completely rebuild the unmatched strength and power of the United States military.
We've got so much extra shit, we're selling it to the Saudis so that if we get into another entanglement in the Middle East, our boys will be shot and killed with only the best.
And all of that incredible equipment, whether it's submarines or missiles or rockets or jet
red glares,
fighters, bombers, it's all built in the USA.
Except for the F-35, which is built across several countries.
We passed VA choice. Thank you very much, Jim. Where's my senator? Jim Inhofe. You better vote for him. He's running. He's great.
Hard sell. You gotta vote for him.
But we'll get to him and James Lankford in a second. Two great senators. You have two great senators.
And you're going to lose one this year.
So we passed VA choice. So if you're a veteran, for years and years, they've wanted to do it for almost 50 years. We got it done. We get a lot of things done. And so if you're a veteran and you have to wait online for 1 week, 2 weeks,
Jesus.
3 weeks, 5 weeks, 7 weeks, 2 months, what happens is you go outside, you get a private doctor, you get fixed up, and they pay your bill. We take care of the bill.
It's nice to know that everybody who came all this way and is catching a disease is hearing something new and inspiring and not just the same bullshit. Okay, I'll bring it up.
You take care of the bill, and you get immediate service. It happened before, and our approval rating at the VA is now 91%. That's how good it is.
Oh, great.
Never been anywhere near that.
Fantastic. Oh my God, this is so great. If my volume and their volume is, his volume is low, then bring up the overall volume, unless it's cranked where you are. But it's where I'm looking at it, it's fairly loud. It's reasonable. Does it sound okay to you
VA
guys?
accountability. We had a lot of bad people in the VA. People that didn't love our vets. People that were sadistic. People that stole. A lot of bad people. You couldn't get rid of them because they...
You can get rid of thieves and sadists. What are you talking about? There were people standing right there. Go ahead, fire me. They were putting out cigarettes on World War I vets. We couldn't get rid of them. There was just too much paperwork.
Let's say it could be unions. It could be civil service, right? Let's just say...
Let's just make up
something. So you couldn't
something.
get it done. That was another one. For decades and decades, they wanted to get it changed. And I got it done with those people and your congressman, too. Your congressman, who I'm going to introduce. VA accountability, and now somebody treats our veterans badly. And we look at them, and what do we say? We say, you're fired. Get out, right? Get out.
Can't even say his own stupid line right. Is it just me? Is that not ridiculous? If you're fired is your line, say, Will Gannon, what do we say? You're fired. That's right. No. You get him out of here. Da-da-da-da. Then, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even do your own stupid line right.
They got
P.S. He never fires anybody as other people do it. He's too much of a coward.
rid of a lot of bad people that were there for a long time, sort of like me in Washington, draining the swamp. I never knew.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. Fucking bars an alligator.
So deep. But it's happening.
No, it isn't.
It's happening. I never.
Thank you, Connie.
Knew it was so deep. It's deep and thick and a lot of bad characters. Thank you. We're lowering the price of prescription drugs, making our allies pay their fair share. They get a big bargain on drug prices, and enacting fair trade deals that finally, after all these years, put America first. I've been saying it for a long time.
He mixed up. He was supposed to be talking about NATO, and somehow, I guess, the Europeans are going to be paying for our drugs now? What?
Passed the largest tax cuts in the history of our country.
Permanent for corporations, temporary for people.
Democrats want to raise your taxes. Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
Oh, do they now?
I guess I'm old-fashioned. You know, all my life,
Oh no.
politicians want to lower taxes, not raise them. If you could lower them, you couldn't lose. The Democrats want to substantially raise your taxes. How do you figure that? And
His mic is all over the place, by the way, and I can't tell if it's because he's off or what, but hold on. I'll try and bring it up on my end a little.
Regulation cuts, we passed more regulation cuts than any administration in the history of our country.
Yeah. Yeah, tell us all about like Roundup and DDT.
And with the help of our great energy workers, many of them come from the great state of Oklahoma. Do you ever notice that Biden oftentimes gets the state wrong? He's in Iowa, and he says, it's good to be in Idaho. No, you're in Iowa. He's in New Hampshire, and he says, it's great to be in Ohio. No, you're in New Hampshire. That happens to him all the time. Hasn't happened to me yet. You know, when that happens, there's nothing you can do to make up for it. You might as well just walk off the stage because the speeches are just...
It's like if you said, you made the case that Nevada is the right way to pronounce it. Nevada, you get in trouble if you say Nevada. You mean those kind of moments?
Yes.
You might as well walk off the stage because the points that you're trying to make about actual policy are completely thrown off by the fact that you're driving through Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine, and you're like, Connecticut? Oh, that was 6 hours ago. Where am I right now? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like it's a Hello Cleveland moment. Meanwhile, tell me again about the 1 million tickets.
Right? But we just turned the United States into the dominant energy superpower of the world.
What?
And because of...
We're a net producer. We sell more than we use.
The Chinese...
That's been true for a half a decade.
This virus, what happened about 3 months ago, it looked like we were in big trouble, and we were, and I got it back together. I called Russia. I called Russia. I called Saudi Arabia. And believe it or not, I called Mexico. Mexico was a little bit tough. That's called OPEC Plus. Did you ever hear of OPEC Plus?
Oh, my God.
That's OPEC plus plus. And we got them to do the right thing, and we have our energy back to up almost $40 a barrel, meaning you have an energy business again. Almost $40 a barrel.
Yeah, who does that benefit more than us? Saudi Arabia and Russia.
A couple of months ago, it was zero, and we were going to lose 10 million energy jobs. 10 million
10 million energy jobs. No, we weren't.
So Texas and Oklahoma and North Dakota and many other states would have been hurt. Now, you think you're going to be hurt there? You try putting AOC in charge of your energy.
Yes, she's not in charge of your energy.
That will make the pandemic look like child's play to the people in energy.
Oh, really? So the Green New Deal will do to the energy sector what COVID did to the health of the American... What?
She has one problem. It's called petroleum. No president or administration has done more in the first 3.5 years than the Trump
She has one problem. It's called petroleum.
administration. Not even...
What?
Nobody.
I got 99 barrels in petroleum, ain't one.
Incredible success in rebuilding America stands in stark contrast to the extremism and destruction and violence of the radical left. We just saw it outside. You saw these thugs that came along.
That woman in the T-shirt who had to be forcibly removed for sitting down.
People call them protesters. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful.
Why don't you just turn these assholes loose to go shoot somebody right now? That's how you wrap this thing up. You know how you get people to ignore the chintzy crap crowd that you have? Have a couple of these nutcases go to their trucks and shoot somebody on their way home. Gin up a fight, you dummy.
Oh, they're so wonderful. They call them the Boston Tea Party. They're so wonderful. Yeah, they call them. You ever watch fake news CNN? You ever watch where they go?
Jim, we were, thank you for acting as one of our African-American supporters today. I noticed you didn't boo when he said CNN, and that is distinctly in the performance contract. Oh, you did boo. Oh, we thought you were just making a face. Okay, well, do you have your phone video that you're supposed to take of yourself? We just need to verify it or whatever. But anyways, here's your $35. Thank you for helping us pretend that and letting America know what fake news is.
How about the CNN anchor? How about the CNN anchor?
Going after Don Lemon?
You know, did a little shave job in the head, which is fine. And he's standing in front of a building saying things are very peaceful here. And the building is, it looks like the biggest fire I've ever seen. The whole town is burning. It's like the biggest fire. And he said, things are very good here, Anderson. I think it's good. I think it's good. These are wonderful people, Anderson. You ever see that?
No, I didn't see that. I'm gonna guess that if Adam Schiff did that, you wouldn't be defending his. You would say he's lying about what. No, it is not a comedy act. YouTube. Comedy acts are funny. This is sad.
Looked like the world was coming to an end. And you know, we did something in Minneapolis.
Which happened during your presidency.
After watching for 3 or 4 days, I called. I said, you got to get out. You can't protect yourselves. I got them to take 8,000 National Guardsmen. And in 1 hour, it all ended. And they rode through the next 3 weeks with no problem.
I am so tough. Look how tough. Well, this is my tough face.
And we did the same thing in other cities. But how about Seattle? Isn't that great?
Boo, Seattle. Let me Google Seattle. Who's in? Yes, no, he's got these little, Richard, he's got these like beats on, they've got a speech for him, but he riffs off of every sentence.
Take over a big chunk of a city called Seattle. I mean, we're not talking about some little place. We're talking about...
You mean like Tulsa?
Seattle. Have you ever been to Seattle? They took over a big chunk, and the governor, who's radical left, all of these places I talk about are Democrat. You know that. Every one of them. Every one of them.
Yeah, I don't know why Democratic governors and mayors don't want to just mow down large groups of their people.
And I have an offer out. I said, anytime you want, we'll come in, we'll straighten it out in 1 hour or less. Now, I may be wrong.
You are.
But it's probably better for us to just watch that disaster. I flew in with some of our great congressmen who we're going to introduce in a second, and I said to him, Congressman, what do you think? I can straighten it out fast. Should we just go in? No, sir. Let it simmer for a little while. Let people see what radical left Democrats will do to our country.
Yeah, why won't they just shoot a bunch of Americans? Why? How come?
Right?
Yeah, oh, Jess Dollface looked at the event ads for Craigslist and for Tulsa. Yeah.
But Americans have watched left-wing radicals burn down buildings, loot businesses,
Boogaloo boys.
Destroy private property.
White supremacists.
Injure
shooting and killing cops.
Hundreds of dedicated police officers. These police officers, they get injured. They don't complain. They're incredible. And injure thousands upon thousands of people only to hear the radical fake news say what a beautiful rally it was. And they never talk about COVID. They don't talk about when you see 25,000 people walking down Fifth Avenue or walking down a street of a Democrat-run city. You never hear them saying they're not wearing their mask. You don't hear them.
Yeah, they do.
Saying as they're breaking windows.
It's constantly brought up.
And running in. And then when I say the looters, the anarchists, the agitators, they say, what a terrible thing for our president to say.
Nobody pointing out that people are looting wasn't the problem. Saying the looting starts, the shooting starts was the problem, you racist.
What a terrible thing. But you don't hear them talking about COVID. COVID.
COVID? Oh, it's COVID now. We're adding an E.
Specific COVID-19. That name gets further and further away from China as opposed to calling it the Chinese virus.
Wow. We're still going to do a deal with them. We have a bunch of billions of dollars worth of agricultural stuff we're going to sell to them. But
and despite the fact that I have done a phenomenal job with it, I shut down the United States to very heavily infected, but all people from China.
40,000 people came in. 40 other countries had already done it. 3 airlines weren't flying anybody out of there. Wuhan had already been sealed.
Late January, which is months earlier than other people would have done it if they would have.
Yeah, no. I was warning people in December.
Done it at all. I saved hundreds of thousands of lives. We don't ever get even a mention. Then I
boo-hoo. This is really what this is about, is PR. Poor thing.
Closed it down to Europe early. Closed it down because I saw what was happening. And by the way, most people said, don't do it. Don't do it. We saved hundreds of thousands of lives.
No, they didn't. You didn't shut down travel from UK because of Boris Johnson. The policy means nothing if that's all you do. That's all he was doing was like, we'll just close borders. Like to a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And this asshole had a bunch of bolts and screws and circuit boards in front of him, and he's like, boink, 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 boink.
And all we do is get hit on like we're terrible. And what
no one is hitting on you.
We've done with the ventilators. Once it was reluctantly aroused.
Yeah, no.
Medical equipment. And with testing. You know, testing is a double-edged sword.
Oh, here it comes.
We've tested now 25 million people. It's probably 20 million people more than anybody else. Germany's done a lot. South Korea's done a lot. They call them.
And they have, how many deaths do they have? How good did they contain it?
They say the job you're doing. Here's the bad part. When you do testing to that extent, you're going to find more people. You're going to find more cases. So I said to my people, slow the testing down, please.
Jesus. Slow the testing down, please. I said to my people, slow the testing down. And he's proud of himself. Look how proud he is that he came up with this. Christ.
They test and they test. We got tests that people don't know what's going on. We got tests. We got another one over here. The young man's 10 years old. He's got the sniffles. He'll recover in about 15 minutes. That's a case. Add up to it. That's a case. That's a case.
Look how he's got this whole thing figured out. See? 50. He's got a 10-year-old kid. He's going to get better in 50 minutes. Of course, he'll carry it around for days and become a little super spreader. But if we didn't know he had it, gosh, he could have just imagine all the grandmas he could have hugged. Look how impressed he is with himself.
I was actually with a very nice man, very good man, even though he's very liberal, the governor of New Jersey, right? We know him? No, listen, he said to me something that's amazing. New Jersey was very heavily hit, very hard hit, thousands of people. He said with thousands of people that died, thousands of people, there was only one person that died under the age of 18. Would you believe that? Which tells me one thing, that kids are much stronger than us.
What? Except for that one kid, I guess.
When you see a little kid running around, say, boy, oh boy, do you have a great immune system.
Old people are all affected by disease and injury worse.
Not a piece of your immune system.
Ew, what kind of Pizzagate bullshit is that?
They don't even know about this. Let's open the schools, please. Open.
So they can spread it to everyone. Yeah, don't worry about Paul.
Open the schools. We got to get them open. In the fall, we got to get them open. The unhinged left.
Look at the coke nostril happening today too. The swelling is back up on the far side of his nostril.
Swing mob is trying to vandalize our history, desecrate our monuments, our beautiful monuments.
Oh, this is okay. So these Confederate statues are our monuments.
Tear down our statues and punish, cancel, and persecute anyone who does not conform to their demands for absolute and total control. We're not conforming. That's why we're here, actually.
Oh, this is a nonconformist gathering? That's why everybody's wearing matching hats and shirts? You are all different. We are all different. I'm not. Shh.
This cruel campaign of censorship and exclusion violates everything we hold dear as Americans. They want to demolish our heritage so they can impose their new oppressive regime in its place. They want to defund and dissolve our police departments. Think of that.
No.
You know, I heard it for the first time 2 weeks ago. I said, well, that one, they're only kidding. I said, they're not. Minneapolis, you see what's going on? They're not kidding.
Now you know how we feel when your followers say they need machine guns to fight a, quote, tyrannical government, which means they want to shoot cops and soldiers and National Guard and Child Protective Services workers when they come to their house. That's what they mean.
They got a lot of problems. They'll have a lot of problems. Hey, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and a very tough, I've used the word on occasion, hombre. A very tough hombre is breaking into the window of a young woman whose husband is away as a traveling salesman or whatever he may do.
Oh, God. This story is going to be horrible. A traveling salesman, or whatever he may do. Let's just say he's at a hotel with a porn star, or he's golfing with someone who just threw a reporter into a chipper shredder, or he's hanging out with Russian mobsters.
And you call 911, and they say, I'm sorry. This number is no longer working. By the way, you have many cases like that, many, whether it's a young woman, an old woman, a young man, or an old man, and you're sleeping. So what are you going to do, right? So they wanted to fund. They really do. This is a serious movement. And in Minneapolis, the council's already passed it. In Seattle, you see what's going on there. It's even worse, okay? These people are stone cold crazy. They're crazy.
And if we could just find a way to pin this nut job nonsense on Joe Biden, which we will never do, because if Biden's against it and Clyburn's against it, it's going nowhere. But please tell me how you as president are going to dictate how states and cities set up their law enforcement, Mr. Republican states' rights.
So if you want to save your heritage, you want to save that beautiful heritage of ours. We have a great heritage. We're a great country.
These aren't statues of cops. What are you talking about?
I can tell you.
Oh, this is his wrestling moment where he likes to walk away. This is the thing that he was watching Hitler speeches. What did he say?
Past it. In Seattle, you see what's going on there. It's even worse, okay? These people are stone cold crazy. They're crazy. So if you want to save your heritage, you want to save that beautiful heritage of ours. We have a great heritage. We're a great country.
Yeah, and it includes beating the South and defeating them and stopping slavery. So maybe don't have enemy flags and monuments to enemy generals. Listen to me. Enemy generals on American soil, because it's a violation of our heritage as the United States of America.
You are so lucky I'm president. That's all I can tell you.
That's the big mic drop?
We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President, Mike Pence, and his wonderful wife, Karen.
And what was this whole walking over, like doing this to the crowd? Look at these people.
People have come up to me and say, how do you take it?
You'll have to ask Putin. I've always got the blindfold on and the zipper hood.
I say, do I have a choice?
Do I have a choice? And Putin says, no, I don't.
Do I have a choice? We deal with a lot of bad people, but we're winning. And every once in a while, I'll have one of these days
Georgina,
where I'm hit left and right, like even this great event.
Boo-hoo.
What, if you could have seen outside, or if you could have heard the reports, oh, it's COVID, it's this, by the way, it's a disease, without question, has more names than any disease in history.
No, only because you keep coming up with stuff. It's a coronavirus. It's COVID-19. COVID-19 is caused by SARS-CoV-2. This is not high-order math. Say scourge.
Flu. I can name.
He said Kung Flu. That's not a name for it. That's a racist rubber stamp you use.
15 different versions of names. Many call it a virus, which it is. Many call it a flu. What difference?
It's not a flu.
I think we have 19 or 20 versions of the name.
Yeah, spout them off. And we can point to nobody says any of them but you. Unbelievable.
But they say to me, where do you get the energy? I say, I don't have a choice. You know?
They walk, sir, how do you get the energy? And I go, big blasts of cocaine and Adderall.
It was interesting to show you how fake they are. You might have seen it. So last week they called me and they say, sir, West Point.
Sir.
West Point, we're ready. I said, oh, that's right. I have to make the commencement speech at West Point. You know, they delayed it for 6 weeks because of COVID. So they delayed it, and I went there. 1,000 106 cadets were graduating, and beautiful. Right?
Yeah, you don't get to claim that you had anything to do with their education or the oath that they take to support the country. It's not about you. By the way, nice 57 Chevy Fender hairdo. Thank you, Julius. And thank you, Lipschitz. So weird.
Beautiful cadet.
Ew.
So, this is just to show you how bad the fake news is. So,
oh boy, we're gonna talk about the water. We're gonna talk about the glass of water. This is him. He's gonna literally. You would come out on this stage in front of your first rally and bitch about the water and the walking of the ramp. Let's see.
They say to me, "Sir, we're ready to go." I say, "Let's go." This is after saying hello to a lot of cadets, inspecting little areas of a building that was very exciting. Actually, it's beautiful, very old. Studied a lot of our great generals, some of our presidents that went there. West Point is beautiful, right on the Hudson River. But after an hour, general that runs it is a fantastic guy. After an hour, we land. We do some more inspections, and they say, "Are you ready?" "Yes, I am." So
Jesus. This is how he talks. Like a toddler telling a story about a bad man who touched him.
we walk like the equivalent of about 3 blocks, which is fine. We go on stage, which is fine. They make speeches, then I make a speech that lasted a long time. I don't know, maybe 45 minutes, maybe longer. I don't know, but a long time. The sun is pouring down on me. Okay? But
Jesus, the boo-hoo.
they said to me before the speech, "Sir, would you like to salute each cadet, each single cadet, or maybe they'll be in groups of 2. Would you like to salute like this?" "Yes." "Like this." Almost 600 times. You know what that is? 600 times!
So that's why. So he had to salute him. That's why he couldn't lift the glass of water. It was an old saluting injury. Jesus.
Thank God they were in 2s. Because let me tell you, you do that 600 times, you go home and you say, it's like a workout without a weight, right? 600 times.
It's without a weight.
So I
is
did
the crucial
that.
part.
Then the incredible helicopters, brand new, gorgeous helicopters, the Apaches and the other new ones that we just bought.
That I put on the
So
lawn
they
like
fly
Kim Jong-un.
over. And the kids throw the hats in the air. It's beautiful, it really is. And it was a beautiful day. And we're all finished. I was on the stage for hours. Hours! Sun, I came home, I had a nice tan. Meaning I had a nice sunburn. Oh, the sun's going on. But I make the speech, right? I salute for probably an hour and a half, maybe more, but around that. Watch, if I'm off by 2 minutes, I'll say, "He exaggerated. It was only an hour and 25 minutes. He exaggerated. He lied. He lied. He's a liar."
God. The pity party.
People are sick, the fake news.
They're sick. Yes, give them the thumbs down. Wow.
So then... So then, I finished saluting, my final salute. I said, "Thank goodness, thank you very much." But think of it, so essentially almost 600 times. Now, the general says, "Sir, are you ready?" I said, "I'm ready, General. Where are we going now?" I left early in the morning to get there. Now it's sort of late in the afternoon. A lot of these fakers were with us, so they know. He said, "Sir, we can now leave the stage." I said, "Great, General, let's go. I'll follow you." And he goes like this, "Right here, sir." I'll walk on. And the stage was higher than this one. And the ramp was probably 10 yards long. I say,
Yeah,
General!
That's because the incline isn't that steep. That's why it's that long. See, if it was shallow and it was so high, but it was long because it wasn't hard. Good Lord.
You gotta understand, I have the whole Corps of Cadets looking at me. And I want them to love their president. I did this
criminy
thing. I love them. I love them. They're incredible. And they.
Can you imagine waiting for weeks to get tickets to this stupid thing? Standing all day. Thumbs down, CNN, MAGA, buying t-shirts with him with Tupac's body, holding up signs all day long and all this bullshit. And he comes out and whinges about walking a ramp?
I said, General, I've got myself a problem, General, because I'm wearing leather bottom shoes, which is good if you're walking on flat surfaces. It's not good for ramps. And if I fall down, look at all those press back there. Look at that.
Yeah, it's there's rubber grip on the ramp. That's why they put ramps there. People in wheelchairs and on crutches manage them because the ramp isn't wooden.
And this was a steel ramp. You all saw it because everybody saw it. This was a steel ramp. It had
so it was gripped and it had it was finely grained. So all right.
No handrail. It was like an ice skating rink. And I said, General, I have a problem. And he didn't understand.
He skipped the whole water drinking thing, which I thought he was going to blame on his shoulder. He just jumped right past that.
At first. I said, there's no way. You understood? I just saluted almost 600 times. I just made a big speech. I sat for other speeches. I'm being baked. I'm being baked like a cake. I said, General, there's no way I can make it ramp without falling on my ass, General. I have no railing.
It's true. I said that. True.
True.
He was able to do it. He's in leather shoes.
So I said, is there like something else around? Sir, the ramp is ready to go. Grab me, sir. Grab me. I didn't really want to grab him. You know why? Because I said, that'll be a story too. So now I can stay up there for another couple of hours and wait till I'm rescued. Or I can go down this really steep, really, it's an ice skating rink. It's brutal. So I said, General, get ready.
Jesus. This labored story. This is the majority of shit he's talked about. Like, he didn't talk this much about the VA. Remember, you have to put this in context. This asshole brought up VA choice, for example. He didn't bring up one soldier, one doctor, one trip to the VA, one experience there. I was talking to one particular soldier who was injured, and he said this, and I said this, and it really touched me. This is the entirety of this. Imagine being that petty and stupid and having such a, and again, I don't buy the whole narcissism argument with him. I think he's got pathetically low self-esteem.
Because I may grab you so fast. Because I can't fall with the fake news watching. If I fall, I remember when President Ford fell out of the plane, you remember? I remember when another president, nice man, threw up in Japan. And they did slow motion replays. It's true. Right? It's true. I don't want that, General. Now he's standing there, big strong guy, and he's got these shoes, but they're loaded with rubber on the bottom. Because the first thing I did, I looked at his shoes. Then I looked at mine.
Jesus.
Very, very slippery.
He doesn't even know the guy's name.
So I end up saying, okay, General, let's go. I will only...
General who? What's his name? You talked to him for hours, apparently. You shared a moment. You clung to each other. out of love of country, for warmth and safety. What's his name?
Grab you if I need you. That's not a good story. Falling would be a disaster. It turned out to be worse than anything. I would have been better off if I fell and slid down the damn ramp. So what happens?
Moral of the story is the bad press.
Is I start the journey inch by inch, right? And I was really bent over, too. I didn't like that, I didn't like this picture. This picture, I'm sure, will be an ad by the fakers. So I was bent over, right?
Jesus. This is a better ad, just him bent over and being all weird with his mouth open.
And then we finally reached almost the end. And the fake news, the most dishonest human beings, they cut it off. You know why? Because when I was 10 feet short, General, I'm sorry, and I ran down the rest, right? I looked very handsome. That was the only good thing. I wouldn't want to run down the whole thing because the fall there would be definitely bad. So I took these little steps. I ran down the last 10. And by the way, their tape, take a look. In almost every instance, it ends just before I run.
No, it doesn't.
And they said
there were 3 steps.
The #1 trending story. I called my wife. I said, how good was that speech? I thought it was hey, look, I will tell you when I make good ones and bad ones. Like so
right.
far tonight, I'm average. Okay? But we're having fun. We're having fun.
Oh, my God.
So far tonight. But I called my darling. She said, you're trending #1. I said to our great First Lady, I said, let me ask you a question. Was it that good, the speech, that I'm trending #1? Because I felt it was really good. No, they don't even mention the speech. They mentioned the fact that you may have Parkinson's disease. It's true. It's true.
How does it feel?
It's true.
How does it feel? You said it about Hillary. You're saying stuff like that about Biden. How's it feel? Oh, God. Hung up video.
They say there's something wrong with our president. I'll let you know if there's something wrong, okay? I'll let you know.
We know.
If there's something. I'll tell you what, there's something wrong with Biden, that I can tell you.
Really? I've seen him walk a ramp. He knelt down on the street and got up on his own. It was amazing. Kneel down and get back up again. Just show us. Show us how you can do it.
So then my wife said, well, it wasn't only the ramp. Did you have water? I said, yeah. I was speaking for a long time. I didn't want to drink it, but I wanted to wet my lips a little bit. You know, you're drinking for your work.
Jesus.
Pouring down on you. I love this location. The sun's like this. This way they save on lighting, right? That's why they did it, probably.
Yeah, the sun. That's why we use the sun, to save on lighting.
So what happens is I said, what does it have to do with water? They said, you couldn't lift your hand up to your mouth with water. I said,
oh, do that gesture again. Jesus.
I just saluted 600 times. And this was before I saluted.
What?
So what's the problem? She said, well, I know what you did. You had on a very good red tie. That's sort of expensive. It's silk because they look better. They have a better sheen to them.
Oh, my God. We're talking about silk ties. Nobody understands the working poor of America.
I don't want to get water on the tie. And I don't want to drink much.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Water. I see we have a little glass of water. Where the hell did this water come from?
He's got to give a demo drinking water. Look at the ego weakness here.
Where did it come from? And I look down on my tie, because I've done it. I've taken water, and it spills down into your tie. It doesn't look good for a long time. And frankly, the tie is never the same. So I put it up to my lip, and then I say, because I don't want it to, just in case. And they gave me another disease. They gave me another disease.
Jesus Christ. This is what he has to do. Whatever. And notice he still had to bring his face to the glass. And he throws it away. That'll show him. Yeah, nobody's worried that you can't drop a glass on the floor. Throwing a glass of water like a badass. Criminy. Yeah, he just threw it. Oh, right eye's starting to go bloodshot. The effort alone.
Anyway, that's a long story, but here's the...
Yeah, it is. Jesus.
Sorry.
Here's a good idea. Next time, have them set up a ramp when you're entering, walk up and down the ramp, and drink a glass of water while you're up there and don't say anything about it. And everybody goes, you notice he didn't have any problem with it.
I've lived with more the ramp than the water, but I've lived with the ramp and the water since I left West Point. Not one media group said I made a good speech or...
Well, I talked about the speech. I went through the whole speech. And I talked about how you were just kind of a wannabe Kim Jong-un dipshit. We talked about private bone spurs. We talked about how you were creating this kind of havoc thing. You were riding on the backs of war heroes. That you were, basically essentially saying one day these people will be remembered because they're killed in battle, doing things you would never do yourself. Like, didn't I not? You guys were there. I went through the whole fucking thing.
A great speech. But the kids loved it.
It was pitiful.
Because they broke their barrier, which wasn't good in terms of COVID. But they broke their barrier and they wanted to shake hands. They wanted to, and I don't want to tell anybody, but a couple of kids they put out the end, I actually shook their hand, okay? I actually shook it. Because they were excited. They were excited. They're with their president. They were excited. The most beautiful young people, men, women, the most beautiful young people you've ever seen. So think of how you feel, you me. I go there. How did I do? Sir, that was a great speech. You know, all my people, sir, that was one of your best. That was great.
Ass
said,
kissers
that's
to
great.
the
I
person.
agree. It was a good speech. I like that speech.
Tell me how good I was.
They don't mention the speech, but they have me going down this ramp at an inch at a time. It's so unfair. It really is. So unfair.
Ooh,
they are among the most dishonest people anywhere on earth. They're bad people. Bad people. Okay, that's enough of that. I wanted to tell that story. Does everybody understand that story?
Oh my God. Does everybody understand that story? Yes, we can put words together. We understand why you told it, because you're pathetically weak and needy and need a crowd to back you up, and you are the biggest weapon people have against you is embarrassment. You feel no shame. You're a shameless human being, but you're easily embarrassed, and that, thank you for spending 20 minutes telling us how to control your mind.
The left-wing anarchists tore down a statue of Thomas Jefferson. Now we're getting into the real stuff. They decapitated a statue of Christopher Columbus, except in New York when the Italians surrounded it. They didn't have too much of a chance. Those Italians, I love the Italians. They heard.
You mean the mafia guys who you work with in the hotel business?
They were going to rip down their beautiful Christopher Columbus, and all of a sudden they circled that thing. They didn't do too well in hurting Christopher, did they?
It's interesting. Christopher Columbus didn't exactly fight for the Confederacy. Died long before the country even existed. Are we playing all that?
Thank you. To our Italian population, we're very proud of you, right?
You're losing.
2 days ago, leftist radicals in Portland, Oregon, ripped down a statue of George Washington.
Citation needed.
And wrapped it in an American flag and set the American flag on fire.
Boogaloos.
Democrat. All Democrats.
Right, all Democrats, right.
Everything I tell you is Democrat. And you know, we ought to do something, Mr. Senators. We have two great senators.
Mr. Senators.
We ought to come up with legislation that if you burn the American...
Hi, Natalie. Welcome. I understand this place is maybe a third full. They canceled the outdoor part, and he spent the majority of the time bitching about the ramp and the glass of water.
Flag, you go to jail for 1 year.
You don't go to jail for a year for desecrating the flag. It takes the value out of the flag. The flag represents the freedom that includes its own burning.
Year.
That's a dumb idea. And it makes the American flag worth less.
Jim and James. Jim and James. We ought to do it. You know,
you can't do it. It's a violation of the First Amendment.
Talk about freedom of speech, and I'm a big believer in freedom of speech, but that's desecration. That's a terrible thing they do.
Well, it's covered under free speech. Sorry.
We used to have things. We don't have them anymore because we want...
We can't have nice things.
Be so open, so everything, and look what happens. We should have legislation that if somebody wants to burn the American flag and stomp on it, but just burn it, they go to jail for 1 year. Okay?
Yeah, and therefore the American flag has less value because it no longer represents freedom of speech, freedom of expression.
In Seattle, the Democrat mayor and the Democrat City Council have surrendered control of 6 city blocks to an anarchist map. These are anarchists. These are not protesters. You listen to the fake news, they say, oh, the protesters were lovely. Could you imagine if people just even slightly to the right...
You mean like the Bundys who pointed guns at cops' heads and pushed their women forward, hoping that the cops would attack them to give them a reason to open fire on police officers? You mean the seizing public lands and public facilities? Something like that?
To take over Seattle. They'd have machine guns out to get them. But these people can take over
No, they wouldn't.
the city. Look at what they've done.
The right-wingers, your group would have machine guns out.
To business people that have spent years and years building their business, and now they're wiped out. Take it away. Governor Inslee ought to get his act together, get in there. I'll help you. I'll do whatever you want. I'm waiting for a call. I would love to do it. I would love to do it. It'll take...
Do what? Kill a bunch of people from Seattle?
It'll take less than an hour, and it'll all be over with, and you'll have your city back.
Aren't you talking about... Basically, he's saying if it was right-wingers, they'd come in there with machine guns, but if you want me to, I'll come in there with machine guns. Good grief. Yeah. Yeah, the guys, there were very fine people in Charlottesville, Carl, that were yelling, the Jews will not replace us. You get a year for burning the flag, but that's protected speech.
And yet Biden remains silent in his basement in the face of this brutal assault on our nation and the values of our nation.
Really? Because I saw him have a listening session at a black church and talk to protesters directly while you were hiding in the bunker.
Joe Biden has surrendered to his party, And to the left-wing mob, he has no control. Does anybody honestly think he controls these radical maniacs?
No. Any of the radicals are not people under his control. He is not directing them to do anything. Now, if you would like us to assume that you are in charge of the attacks by boogaloos and white supremacists, we could talk. Is that what you're saying?
You know what he says to his wife when he's not confusing her with his sister? Get me the hell out of here. These people are crazy. That's what he says. He has absolutely...
So he's not siding with the radicals in his party, is what you're saying?
Absolutely no control. You know, a lot of times I'll make like a speech and...
Yeah, like a speech. It's never really a speech, is it?
I'll have this beautiful paragraph come out.
No, you won't. That's never happened.
Criticizing every little aspect of the speech. Beautiful, brilliant. But Joe didn't. And it'll say, a comment from Joe Biden. But he didn't say it. Professional people, great students in English lit, people that are very smart say it. Joe Biden said, and they'll go into this highly complex paragraph, beautifully worded, and I say, Joe didn't say that. Joe doesn't even understand it.
Because you don't understand it?
And if Biden is elected, he will surrender your country to these mobsters 100%.
Do you really want to drop the word mobsters?
Your 401ks, by the way, look at how we're doing in the stock market. Just set another record with NASDAQ.
Yeah, NASDAQ loves it when people are out of work.
Your 401ks and money itself will be worthless. Your 401ks are doing very well.
What, mister, we need to just print more money?
I don't want to say, if you were stupid, I said, don't sell. It went down, but we got it back up. And now NASDAQ, think of it, NASDAQ just set a record.
NASDAQ? Aflac.
And I think you're going to see a lot of records.
NASDAQ.
And next year, if we don't do anything stupid on November 3rd, you are going to...
You mean vote for you again?
...have the greatest economic year we've ever had. That'll be next year.
Yeah, it's funny how Democrats always seem to oversee the greatest growth in the country. I mean, look at Clinton, look at Obama.
If the Democrats...
Look at Bush's debt. I mean, $6 trillion on the Afghanistan and the Iraq wars, and you dump that on the economy in 6 weeks.
Democrats gain power, then the rioters will be in charge, and no one will be safe, and no one will have control. Joe Biden is not the leader of his party. Joe Biden is a helpless puppet of the radical left.
Right. Okay, so that's going to be the election refrain going forward, is Biden is a helpless puppet of the radical left. Never mind the fact that all of his party positions are not only acceptable to the vast majority of Democrats, there's a good deal of independents and Republicans who are like, I feel safe with this guy in charge. This isn't going to be crazy. This is just, we would like to get back to having a situation where we don't have to monitor Twitter to see if we're in World War III right now. The radical people who don't think that the president should make a racist video about 2 toddlers.
And he's not radical left. I don't think he knows what he is anymore. But he was never radical left. But he's controlled by the radical left. And now he's really controlled.
No, he isn't.
His campaign staff even donated a lot of money to bail out rioters, looters, and arsonists who
No, they bailed out specifically certain protesters who weren't looting or rioting.
Minneapolis. They bailed them out. They put up a lot of money to bail them out, the rioters, the looters. And
yeah, that's who.
They were the arsonists. So they'll say, oh, it's terrible what he says about the people of our nation. Maybe some of them aren't even from our nation. The left is trying to do...
Oh, yeah, some of them might be working for the Confederacy. That's a good point.
...everything they can to stop us. Every hour of every day, including even violence and mayhem, they'll do anything they can to stop us. Look what happened tonight. Look at what happened tonight. Law enforcement said, sir, they can't be outside. It's too dangerous.
Oh, that's what it was. It wasn't that there was nobody out there watching and the place is half full. They had to stop it because the cops said it's just too dangerous. We can't do it, Mr. President. We've blocked off, we've created an autonomous zone in Tulsa just for your stupid rally, and still, it's just not safe.
We had a bunch of maniacs come and sort of attack our city.
Sort of attack our city? Tulsa's your city?
The mayor and the governor did a great job, but they were very violent people.
What? What is not showing up for your stupid outdoor repetitive yawning speech an act of violence now?
And our people are not nearly as violent, but if they ever were, it would be a terrible, terrible day for the other side. Because I know our people. I know our people.
They're very violent. Our people, if they could be violent, they would absolutely. If I could turn them loose.
But we will never submit to their threats, and we will never let them destroy our nation.
Well, apparently you just said you submitted to their threat because you didn't have your speech outside.
Did tonight, I saw.
Apparently you tucked tail and bunkered it just like last time.
On television.
How do we know this isn't being broadcast from a bunker? Because the wide shot showed a half-empty place. So how do I know this isn't just CG?
Coming in on Air Force One. One thing about Air Force One, we got plenty of televisions. We have televisions in closets. You open up the closet, got a television. We got a lot of televisions. It's a great plane, great everything.
That's not a television. That's a computer. That's not a closet. That's a mainframe. Jesus. That's not a closet, sir. That's the cockpit. Could you please get out of there, sir? I just want to see if Fox is on. Is Hannity on this? Sir, that's how we can check the weather, please.
By the way, we ordered new ones.
It's not a closet, it's a cockpit.
No president wanted to do it. They thought it was luxury. I said, wait a minute. Air Force One is 31 years old. People don't realize that. So I said, they gave me a chart very early in my administration, like, how about the first week? Sir, would you sign for this plane? Now, it's actually two planes. Would you sign for this plane? Air Force One. I said, how old is the original or the one we have now? Sir, it's 31, 32 years. And I'd see people coming in from foreign lands that can't compete with us. Rich countries, but they can't compete with you. And they have a brand new, beautiful 747-800. 747. And I said, wait a minute. That country has new, and we have a 31-year. So somebody had to do it. So the deal was made. And it was made for a lot of money. I think it was $5.7 or $5.6 billion. Now, in all fairness.
Just because you were like, we need a new looking plane because I feel ashamed.
It's two planes, and there's a lot of stuff in those planes. I won't talk to you about it. So I told Boeing, the head of...
Thank you, Natalie.
Boeing, they said, sir, please, would like to get started on the planes. I said, I do too, but I'm not paying $5.6 billion. And I'm not paying $4.6 billion. I said it has to have a 3 on the front of it. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money, too. But it is a rather complex situation. They said, no way. No way. This was before Boeing had problems, by the way. But Boeing's coming back. They're coming back. The greatest company in the world, and it had some big problems. It had a couple of problems. That didn't work.
Jesus Christ!
God,
This is so. What have we gone through? By the way, what are the big stories? He talked about Veterans' Choice. He talked about all these things, the wall that he's proud of, all this stuff. And what is his two big stories? Drinking water, walking a ramp, and how Air Force One wasn't luxurious enough for him.
Terrible, but the greatest. I think before that, it was the greatest company in the world. It made up a quarter.
Airplane company, maybe. What the? How many people besides... Okay.
1/4...
It's Boeing. Jesus Christ. It's not GE.
Of a point of our GDP. Think how big that is. One company. It was an unbelievable machine. And then they made a plane, and they did some foolish things. And...
Foolish things. That's what it does.
A terrible thing happened. And all of a sudden, they've gone through hell. But you know what? They're coming back. We're ready to help them if they need it, but they're coming back, and they're coming back.
Good Lord.
But this was the Boeing
So tiresome.
before that, and they were riding high, and like I was before this thing came in.
Oh, you're going to say scourge? Please say scourge.
We're still riding high because you know what? On November 3rd, we're going to win. We're going to win.
No, you're not. Not with this kind of crowd. Million tickets. Who told you they sold 1 million tickets or 1 million tickets were taken for this? Pascal? Jesus.
So they came in and they said, no, we want, 5.6 billion, whatever it was. It was. If I'm a little bit off, they'll go crazy, you know.
You are a little bit off.
But it was a lot. 5.6 billion. Nope, got to have a 3. Got to have a 3. Call me up. Nope, cancel the contract. I said, cancel the contract. I want to cancel. I said, General, can you cancel the contract? He said, yes, sir. I'm very proud of it. Oh, good. Cancel it. Okay, sir. By the way, to cancel it, do you have to pay anything? Yes, sir. We have a cancellation fee, sir. How much is it, General? $250 million, sir. I said, what?
Yeah, because they start building things. Highly complex things.
Sir, we made a good deal. $250 million to Ken. You mean if we don't buy the plane, we have to hand them $250 million? That's not good, right? Look at these two guys. They're looking.
Were they going to sell it to somebody else? It's Air Force One technology.
By the way,
people did work.
That's like a good story compared to some I could tell you, like with aircraft carriers. So.
Yeah, what are you going to do? If you don't buy them, what are they going to give them to the Chinese at a cut rate?
They said.
What kind of, oh my God. Thank you, Bronwyn Fox.
250 million, or
thank you,
I always say this, or around
Lori.
that number, because I'm off by a little bit. They say, oh, he exaggerates. I look at numbers all day long. That's what I look at for years now.
This is ridiculous.
My whole life when you think of it.
Oh, God. Yeah. 29, 32, 18.
150 million cancellation fee, sir. He was very proud of himself. What a great day. I say, General, don't cancel. Don't cancel. Just tell him I don't want the planes. Don't put anything in writing. Don't put it in writing, General. Why, sir? Because I don't want to pay $250. True. Do you hear that, Jim? Jim Inhofe, he's great. You hear that, Jim? You know that story. He does a great job. So here's what happened, the bottom line. Boeing says, no way, no way, no way. The next week they say, no way we're doing it. The next week they said, how about $5 billion? I said, no way, no way. The next week they said 4.8. I said, nope, it's got to have a 3 on the front of it. Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Don't you understand?
Yeah, Boeing, run by dumb son of a bitches. Like, literally, they're a great company, probably the greatest in the world, but the guy running it is a dumb son of a bitch because...
I turned out to be right, you know. Turned out to be right. Nobody gets that? No. Got to have a 3.
They ate the loss, and the company's in the shitter.
Next day, they come back. 4.5 is our best offer. Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Come back when you're ready. A month goes by. Another month, they never heard about it. They never heard from me. They thought I was serious. I was. And they came back at $4 billion. That's a lot of money. But I saved like $1.6 billion or $1.7 billion. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants
So they didn't hit 3.
to talk about it.
So the whole point of the story is he never got him to the 3 in front of it.
When I get foreign nations to pay us $1 billion.
What was the whole thing about the 3? And all it did was make Boeing eat $2 billion worth of tech for a plane they can't sell legally anywhere else. And that's going to last our president decades.
Billions and billions of dollars. Nobody wants to talk about that. When I take soldiers out of countries because they're not treating us properly, Germany is an example. I mean, I have a German heritage, like some of you.
Uh-huh.
I said, let's get it down from 50,000 to 25,000 because they're delinquent. For many years, they're delinquent.
They don't pay us to keep them there. They give us the space.
They haven't been paying what they're supposed to be paying. They're paying 1% instead of 2%.
They're not NATO troops.
And 2% is a very low number. And they say, yes, we think by...
Oh my God, this is so, tiresome.
2030, maybe 2032, we could get current. I said, no, Angela. Angela, please. Yes. Don't say that, Angela. It's true. You know who I'm talking about. Nice, by the way, very nice woman, very good negotiator. I said, Angela, that's a long time. This was in 2019. She said 2032. I said, no, Angela, that's not working. But I said, what about, because now they want current, but I said, well, what about the last 25 years, all the money you owe us? Everybody forgot about that. They forgot about all the money that wasn't paid. I said, what about the $1 trillion that you really owe? So we're negotiating, let's see. But in the meantime, we're reducing our troops. Remember this. Remember this.
These aren't troops in harm's way, and all this does is benefit Russia.
We're supposed to protect Germany from Russia.
Right.
Germany is...
No, you're supposed to protect the Ukraine and other free parts of Russia that broke free after Russia broke up, after the USSR broke up. And Russia and all the other NATO companies are part of that.
Paying Russia billions of dollars for energy coming from a pipeline, brand new pipeline.
Because you were against the Hunter Biden pipeline.
So they pay the country we're supposed to protect them from. They pay billions of dollars to that country. We're supposed to protect them. Excuse me, how does that work?
If you don't know how it works, you shouldn't be in charge of it.
How does that work?
Look, people are starting to sit down. Yeah, everybody sit down. Yeah, start sitting down.
And the great thing is with Jim Inhofe and with James.
Oh my God.
Tell you, James Langford, likewise. When they just said they love you, James. When they hear it, they get it. A lot of people don't get it. They get it. We cannot continue to be ripped off. We're ripped off by so many countries.
You spend 300 years worth of presidential salary on golfing at your own properties. You charge the CIA and other government officials retail to stay there. What are you talking about ripping off?
And we're stopping it. And that means that a lot of people don't want me.
Paul, he is beyond high. He's gacked up.
Here. They don't want me here. A lot of people that don't want me here.
Yeah.
You know,
a majority of Americans currently.
They sell a lot of bombs when we're not dropping bombs on people. You know that, right? It's called the military-industrial complex. When rioting and looting broke
you're against the military-industrial complex.
out in our nation's capital, I very quickly deployed the National after watching for an evening or two.
Watching for an evening or two from a bunker.
We stopped the violence and restored peace and order to the streets. And last night they had a little breakout again. They ripped down a statue that was 110 years old, beautiful piece of art, in front of the police precinct with our radical left mayor watching on television. We're not happy. That's going to be very expensive for D.C. They're always looking for money. We need more money. We always need more money. And then they don't do the proper job. So it's not going to be good for Mayor Bowser. Mayor Bowser.
How much money does it cost to replace a statue? How much money does it cost for police to, gun down dozens of people who are trying to destroy a statue? What's the the over-under on the law enforcement and legal costs around that?
They were heading over
Christ.
to the Jefferson Memorial recently, and they wanted to do damage to our great, beautiful Jefferson Memorial. Not going to happen. Don't worry about it. We have it surrounded with very strong people. The choice in 220 is very simple.
The choice in 220. Oh, it's the year 220. What was that about Biden not knowing what city he's in?
Do you want to bow before the left-wing
millennia do you
mob?
think this is?
Or do you want to stand up tall and proud as Americans?
Standing up tall and proud as Americans, wearing Confederate flags and standing behind statues of people who fought the existence of the United States to try and maintain slavery. Good God. Oh, wait, hold on. Ugh.
And explain this to the NFL. I like the NFL.
Oh my God!
I like
really?
Roger Goodell, but I didn't like what he said a week ago.
Oh my God! This is just like that interview with his son that went so badly.
Where did that come from in the middle of the summer? Nobody's even asking. We will never kneel to a national anthem, great American flag. We will stand proud and we will stand tall.
Because it's a symbol and a brand, with no meaning.
I thought we won that battle with the NFL. Their stadiums were emptying out. Did you see those stadiums? Took them a long time to get. Didn't like that. You know, a lot of people that you wouldn't even think would care that much. I've had people that I said, these are super left liberals, and they didn't like it. Joe Biden and the Democrats want to prosecute Americans for going to church, but not for burning a church.
What? What kind of bullshit is that? They don't want to prosecute people for going to church, and they don't want to let people who set fire to a church go. Are you high? Boo! That's terrible. I mean, it's total bullshit and fiction and insanity.
They believe you can riot, vandalize, and destroy, but you cannot attend a peaceful pro-America rally.
Yeah, you can. It's just stupid. No, there are no cops there to stop it. The Congress didn't send the officers of the House or whatever their police force is.
They want to punish your thought, but not their violent crimes.
What are you talking about? Even people who get bailed out still have to go to court.
They want to abolish.
You just got rid of a prosecutor who was going after your consigliere. Good Lord.
Bail, abolish, and open up your borders. They want open borders. Let everyone, and by the way, we're doing so well. We have a record this month on the borders. Nobody's coming in.
Yeah, nobody's coming in. Gee, why would that be? Because there are fewer cases of COVID in Mexico than there are here?
Very few people. And they want to abolish ICE. Our great people from ICE who send the roughest, meanest people that you've ever seen or ever heard. Generally speaking, when they have lots of tattoos on their face, they're not looking to do you much help. ICE. They're rough guys. They're rough. They're great Americans.
Yeah, if you see somebody with a face tattoo, don't ask them to help you change a tire or bake a flan. They just really aren't. I mean, it's just not their thing.
They love, but they'll walk into, they call them a pack. They'll walk into a pack of tough gang members. And
women and children.
You know, we shouldn't say this. It's not nice. They want us to negotiate. They start swinging, and the others start swinging. Everybody's swinging. At the end, they carry them back, and they throw them into the paddy wagon, right? They're great. And these people want to get rid of ICE. They get rid of murderers. They get rid of rapists. They get rid of the worst scum.
And some people they get rid of are good people.
On earth.
Wait a minute. ICE is coming after you? Is there a force from ICE outside getting ready to scoop up Trump?
And when I called them animals, I said they're animals. And Nancy Pelosi, they cut up a young woman. They cut up a young woman and her friend cut them up with a knife because it was more painful, dead. Cut them up with a knife because it's more painful, takes longer than shooting a gun. They cut them up. I said, these are animals. And Nancy Pelosi said, these are human beings, they're not animals.
No, you associated MS-13 with everybody coming across the border, including asylum seekers. You I don't know what that body language is. I don't know what that is. But the idea being that you were associating MS-13 gang members as if they are the mass of people crossing the border and not just people seeking asylum from other countries. Some of them are migrant workers that go back.
If I lose an election over that, you know what? This country's in big trouble. Big trouble. They want to disarm law-abiding citizens and dismantle our police forces while freeing vicious MS-13 gang members.
Nobody wants to free MS-13 gang members.
Joe Biden's America. Rioters, looters, and criminal aliens have more rights than law-abiding citizens, and that's true.
Oh, really? Based on what?
In my administration, we defend American citizens, and we deport MS-13 members.
The Obama administration was deporting criminals hand over fist.
Or
it was one of the reasons. It was one of the reasons why hardcore liberals turned on them.
The chaos you're seeing in our Democratic-run cities.
You know, I mean the ones with giant economies?
They're all run by the Democrats.
Yeah, and they all are amongst the biggest economies on earth.
Is what will happen in every city and community in America.
No, I don't think Tulsa's ever going to be Seattle. Sorry. Maybe Tacoma.
Much, much worse if we don't keep them out. We have to do this. We have to go to the polls on November 3rd, and the rest, you know what to do. You know what to do.
Yes, vote for Biden.
Got to keep the White House. Joe Biden's record can be summed up as 4 decades of betrayal, calamity, and failure. He never did anything. He was a senator. He was a vice president. He was, before that, something.
Violence Against Women Act. It's just been a stick in your craw the whole time.
You know what's great?
Yeah, tell us all about how much better you are at governing than Biden.
Trump was tough on this, or he was tough. They complain. Never did anything about it. He's been there for 43 years or 47 years.
So you're just going to say that the crime bill was, you're not even going to use that as an issue. All right, good. All right, cool. And the Violence Against Women Act, that's not important to you? Okay, cool. And how about the ACA, for example? I mean, you've been trying to, if he didn't make anything, how can you destroy everything?
He never did anything about it. Biden supported every globalist attack on the
Jews.
American worker. Let's make every country in the world rich but ourselves, including NAFTA, the disaster of NAFTA. Go and TPP would have ruined our automobile industry.
No.
Korea, I renegotiated the deal. I took a horrible deal. That was a Hillary Clinton special. She said, we have to make this deal with South Korea. It's going to mean 250,000 jobs. And she was right. For South Korea, 250,000 jobs. And China's entry into the World Trade Organization was supported by Sleepy Joe Biden. That was one of the worst deals economically in the history of our country. When
Then why were we buying so much stuff from them?
China joined the World Trade Organization, they were flat.
Lock her up. Excuse me, Biden's pronouns are he, him.
Line for decades. They became like a rocket ship. He voted for the war in Iraq. He voted for mass amnesty for illegal aliens.
You mean like Reagan?
Now Biden wants to end immigration enforcement and he wants to require you to provide free health care for millions and millions of illegal aliens, okay?
Yeah, you do know how contagion works, right?
When I took early and decisive action
you want those
to ban
big tough
travel
guy
from
ICE people? You want those big
Americans from.
You want those big tough guy ICE guys to get Ebola and H1N1 and COVID-19 because they're just acting as medical people, just picking up sick people and chucking them over the border?
The virus, and as I said, Joe Biden opposed my decision and called it hysteria, xenophobia. He doesn't know what the word means.
Yeah, because you don't know what the word means. Yeah, because that was the only thing you were going to do.
Phobia and fear.
You closed a border that was and still let 40,000 people in, and then you went golfing.
Mongering. And then he apologized a month later. He said he was wrong, but he didn't say it. And they didn't cover it. They didn't cover it.
Because that's not what he said.
On one of the single most important policy decisions of our lifetime, Joe Biden sided with China over America. That's closing the border. He thought it was a terrible thing. Remember, this was in January. That's early, real early, the end of January. He thought it was a terrible thing when we closed the border to many people that were badly infected with.
Still brought in 40,000 people.
COVID. When the
COVID. It's still COVID now.
Chips are down, Biden will always cave to the radical left. He'll always bow to the angry mob, and he
do you really want to throw angry mob in
will
here?
never protect you or your family, and you know that.
He'll never, the guy behind the crime bill will never protect you and your family. Never mind that there was a spike in crime in 1992 and it's gone down ever since. But he'll never protect you and your family. Sure.
Joe.
The Congressional Black Caucus and all the black mayors in the country, major mayors, were all for the crime bill, which Biden pushed through. Yeah.
Biden will always let you down. That's been his history.
Oh, really? What? Tell me about 500 walls paid for by Mexico, or 500 miles
At my
of
direction
wall.
early this year, the heroes of the U.S. military took out the world's top terrorist, the savage killer and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, and the #1 terrorist anywhere in the world, Qasem Soleimani. We took him out.
Yeah, totally an Osama bin Laden moment. Totally, bro.
Joe Biden opposed killing Soleimani?
Yeah, because he's the member of a government of a sovereign country. Targeted assassinations, a little problematic.
He was we killed.
He wasn't on a battlefield. He wasn't in the middle of wiring up a bomb. He was in a car on the way to the airport.
Terrorist, he didn't like it. You know why he didn't like it? Because he thought
we
it would be politically.
Because we extrajudicially murdered somebody who was the member of a foreign government.
He opposed the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. He opposed it. You know that. Biden is
No, he was concerned about the timing.
Always on the wrong side of history, as said by people that are with him and worked with him. He never made a correct foreign policy decision. Biden is a puppet for China. Son walked out with 1.5. I think it's a little bit.
Yeah, how much were your loans from China? Was it $300 million right now?
Allowing them to rip off America for many years. Now they're paying us billions and billions of dollars.
No, they're not.
We give a lot of it to our farmers. We have
No, you don't.
Plenty left over. China's not exactly happy with me.
We've dumped $6.4 trillion on our economy.
Billions.
Billions. $6.4 trillion. Tell me about billions again. Tell me about that chintzy story about the airplane again.
They pay us billions and billions of dollars, and they targeted our great farmers, and I took...
No, they didn't. That's one of the only things they buy from us.
The money that they targeted. I took that money, and I gave it to the farmers, so they were even.
Taxpayer money. By the way, your daughter's stuff wasn't covered.
So they're okay. Are you okay?
Under the tariffs.
Doctor, please. Doctor. Thank you. These people, I mean, some of the people are waiting for 5 days, especially in this location, right? You take your time, darling. Take your time. Thank you very much. Take your time. Doctor, thank you, doctor.
Somebody pass out? Somebody faint? What happened? Just a case of COVID. Just somebody turning blue and keeling over.
No, some people wait. Incredible. He never did anything against China, Joe Biden. And that's why they desperately want him to win. They want him to win so badly. Iran wants him to win so badly.
Ridiculous. Sorry, 1 second. My Siri was acting up. Don't.
Let me tell you, I'm going to make a very fast deal, the best deal you've ever seen.
Yeah. Tell us all about the deal.
I've already made one with China, but I can make even more. They want me to lose because they will own the United States if I lose. Iran, President Obama gave them $150 billion for nothing.
It was their money. They could sue us for the interest. They've spent
and
it
almost
already.
More incredibly, he gave them $1.8 billion in green cash, beautiful cash.
Look how pissed he is he didn't get some of that money.
They're not doing so well. Someday we're going to get credit for this. Someday.
No.
But they are waiting. Iran wants to make a deal so badly. But they're told by Kerry and all these other, they shouldn't, the Logan Act. But they're told by Kerry and all these people, wait, because if Trump loses, you'll own America. You're going to own it.
Yeah, that's what Kerry's saying.
They'll say you own it. So I don't mind.
Yeah, Iran's going to own the United States.
But when I win, you're going to pay a much higher price than if you made a deal. Now it's true. True. Told them.
So how's Iran going to own the United States? Are they going to buy it from Russia after you leave?
And look what happened to Biden in Ukraine, where his son's paid $83,000 a month and he was jobless. Give me a break.
And they have a functioning pipeline now.
$83,000 a month.
Burisma was totally corrupt, and now it's a functioning company. Gee.
More than anybody. If Joe Biden were to become president, an emboldened left will launch a full-scale assault on American life. You know that. They'll expel anyone who disagrees with them. Look what happens when you disagree. You use a term that's perfect and they're not happy with it.
A term that's perfect? What do you mean? Like the N word or the K word or the F word? Which words are we talking about?
They call you a racist. They call you a horrible person. They want to crush religious liberty. They don't want religion. Silence religious believers.
Biden's a Catholic. You use the Bible as a prop. I bet you know that. I bet that you're aware that Biden knows it's 1st and 2nd Corinthians.
Indoctrinate your children with hateful and vicious lies about our country.
That's what it's going to be.
Late-term abortion and after-birth execution.
After-birth execution. This is the hammer. This is what he's going to. This is the final sales pitch.
They want to take away your guns through the.
So you wait a minute. If you don't have a gun, how are you going to kill people after they're born?
Repeal of your Second Amendment as sure as you're sitting there.
They're standing, and secondly, no, we just don't want people with 60-round magazines.
In fact,
because they tend to kill a lot of cops and children.
Put the big gun grabber, Beto O'Rourke, who made a fool out of himself when he ran for president, they put him in charge of guns. Lots of luck on your Second Amendment. Just remember I said it. Hopefully you won't have to think back about it too much, because it won't matter. Hopefully it won't matter. No, Beto O'Rourke, who wants to give up guns, is in charge of the Second Amendment.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's in
the
charge.
Dems will also eliminate.
I think the Supreme Court and the Congress and the Senate also have a play in this. Just saying.
Health insurance, ban fracking. That's not good. And American energy will be in a position of weakness like it's never been before. And that's after we built the greatest energy country anywhere in the world by far.
We were already a net exporter when you came into office. And
they want to appoint Supreme Court justices who will utterly obliterate your Constitution. And you now see how important the Supreme Court is. Think if we didn't have two justices
who sided with the majority this week.
That
Thanks,
I think
Julius.
have been very, very, very good. But think how important it is. Think how important it is. Once it was reluctantly aroused. I don't know if it's an equal court. It's almost like we're a minority court, right? It's almost like we're a minority court. The recent Supreme Court cases prove that if Joe Biden is elected, he will stack the court with extremists and the forgotten men and women. Together with everyone else, we'll lose everything. The forgotten men and women. I campaigned on the forgotten. These are great people.
Right.
These are the elite. By the way, you're the elite. They're not the elite. You're the elite.
They've given up on the whole elitism bad thing, and they're just going, we're actually the elites. That's what it becomes, a racial thing.
Somebody 2 days ago said, sir, the elite are really working hard on trying to destroy you. I said, yeah. Why do you call them the elite? I said, why? Well, they're not elite. I look better than them. Much more handsome.
Jesus.
Got better hair than they do.
Yeah, not so much.
I got nicer properties. I got nicer houses. I got nicer apartments. I got nicer everything.
All floated by the American taxpayer. Why don't you just brag at all these people with no properties?
I ran for politics once, just once in my life, and I became president of the United States.
Thank you, Russia.
Once.
But was Putin in the audience? Did he just wink at him? This is ridiculous, Bronwyn Fox. The goofiest thing.
And hopefully, if you get out and vote.
They won't. You're going to lose. The place is half empty. This is a pathetic
We'll do it one
turnout.
more time. We won't even toy with them about 3 or 4 more times. We won't. We'll do.
He's going to bitch tomorrow about the fact that the press is going to talk about how empty it was.
One more time. We'll be 2 for 2, and our country will never, ever be stronger. But I'll be soon announcing a new list of exceptional candidates for the United States Supreme Court, and I'll choose only from that list 100%.
So the Heritage Foundation is going to drop you off another list?
Probably 25 incredible people, any one of which could be a great justice, any one of which. And I did it last time, and people loved when I did it. And I'll only...
No, Kavanaugh's not exactly a slam dunk.
From that list. Biden can't release his list because the names would be too extreme, too radical. They wouldn't be acceptable, but they will be very radical people. People don't understand.
What in the world makes you think Biden's going to choose radicals for the Supreme Court?
But we actually won.
Unless you just consider protecting a woman's right to choose as radical.
On DACA yesterday. We actually won.
You actually won when we lost, if you think about it. Thanks,
because they basically
Thanks,
said, you won, but you have to come back and redo it. It's almost like, gee, come on back, your work was no. But we're going to be refiling, but don't let it get you.
Oh, my God, this is so dull.
Everything's going to work out really good. Everything's going to...
No, it's not. You're going to lose again. I don't think so.
It was great. I mean, it would have been nice if we won it. Everybody said... Oh, you're going to win DACA. You're going to win DACA. That's easy. You got to win DACA. That's easy. They all said it. And they came back and they said, we like what you did with your paperwork, essentially, right? So we're refiling it. Most people would say, oh, we lost. We didn't lose. We're going to refile it. And everything is going to work out for the young people, most of whom aren't so young anymore, by the way. But we're going to work it out for everybody. Biden is fully controlled by the fringe of his party. He is their pawn. He doesn't even know where the hell he is, let's face it. He installed socialists, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
He installed her?
To be in charge of his environmental policy at his energy. You can forget petroleum. How does Oklahoma feel about being petroleum free? Not good, right?
Yeah, can you imagine not having all that shit in your water and air?
Our country will have no energy. Our country will have nothing.
Like this speech.
Oklahoma, Dakota, and many others will all be out of business. I don't think that's going to work out too well, but she's actually in charge of environmental policy, and you know what that means. She doesn't even want wind. She doesn't want those bird-killing machines that go round and round.
Oh, the things that give you cancer?
You want to see a lot of birds that are dead? Go under a windmill sometime. She wants us to go back to the Stone Ages
Dutch.
because she's...
Am I right? The fucking Dutch.
Credentials.
You can't even go down an old river in a Heidi novel.
She's got a little charisma, not much.
Yeah, I don't know how much more of this I could take either, Arlie.
But she doesn't have a clue. You know it. But she's in charge of the environment. No airplanes. We can forget Boeing, I guess, come to think of it, right? We talked about Boeing. We could forget Boeing. Let's cancel those brand new Air Force Ones, right? Likewise, Representative Ilhan Omar.
This is where we go down the squad and try to tack the squad to Biden because this crowd hates these women so much.
Ilhan Omar is going to be very much involved in a Biden government. They will put this hate-filled, America-bashing socialist front and center in deciding the fate of your family and deciding the fate of your country. I don't think so.
You've enacted more government bailouts of companies than any other president in history. And you go to these factories and tout the fact that they're kept afloat by government funds all the time.
She would like to make the government of our country just like the country from where she came, Somalia. No government, no safety, no police, no nothing, just anarchy. And now she's telling us how to run our country. No, thank you. And I think we're going to have a big victory in the state of Minnesota because they've had it.
No.
They've had it. Biden is a very willing Trojan horse for socialism. When Biden first ran for president...
This is the part that Stephen Miller put in.
Over 33 years ago, remember I used to call him 1% Joe. He never got more than 1%. Until Obama took him off the trash heap. But he blatantly copied the speech of a British politician, even ripping off the man's personal biography and family history and claiming it was his own. He forgot to say he was born in America. Joe Biden is a shameless hypocrite.
Really? Really? Mr. Bible Thumper?
Since 2003, he has delivered fawning
Tell me your favorite Bible verse.
eulogies to the funeral and at those funerals of three leading supporters of segregation, including a former member of the KKK. And yet Biden is now smearing as racist tens of millions of people like yourselves, decent, hardworking Americans who he's never met, and he frankly probably doesn't want to meet.
Well, not if you're racists and KKK members. Why are you pointing at them?
America should not take lectures on racial justice from Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe.
Or from a guy who his father and he were investigated by the Justice Department for denying rent to black people. Denying places to rent, I suppose.
A man who praised and partnered with segregationists, shipped millions of black American jobs overseas and everyone else's jobs too, by the way. If I didn't come along, we're building auto plants, we're building everything. And there's never been a comeback.
You mean Japanese ones?
Like we're making.
Tell us about the Toyota plant
right now
in Tennessee.
Never been.
Tell us how why you were against the auto bailout of the American companies. Tell us about how much Elon Musk likes you after you were against the money that he got during the auto bailout for Tesla.
He hollowed out our middle class, including our black middle class, with open borders, trapped young children in failing government schools, built cages. Those cages were built by Obama and Biden.
Yeah, and the only people that went in them were people who were smuggling children, and they were separated. The parents went in there. The kids went to either foster homes and the like, but they were also tracked so they could go back to their family if it turned out to be them. But you made it zero tolerance, meaning that simply the crime of crossing the border was equal to, even if you're seeking asylum, equal to bringing guns and drugs and murdering people and the like. And so all families were caged like that.
Look it up, 2014. And
they gave cops somebody started hiring cops with arms, so the chokeholds that happened on my watch are really someone else's fault.
News doesn't want to remember the picture of a cage for children. Remember the picture of the cage?
Yeah. Did you dismantle them?
And they said, President Trump. And then they realized that was in a newspaper, 2014, the same, built by Obama and Biden, the cages.
So they want open borders then? So make up your mind. If they're the ones who built the cages, why are they the open borders crowd then? How does that work?
And they don't want to report.
Yeah, and they were fenced off areas. But you know what I'm saying, Rick.
They know the way it is.
They want to open the borders up just so they can bring people over and put them in cages.
Stupid.
What?
They sent young boys to fight in Iraq while the inner cities crumbled, helped the big banks while hammering community leaders, and made our cities less safe and secure for all. They've done a terrible job, and they shouldn't be awarded. They should not get rewarded with an election victory on November 3rd. That should
Well, they are. Yeah, you're going to lose.
happen. It'll destroy this country. Our country will be destroyed.
Yeah, no. The Obama years had their ruffles, but they were pretty sweet compared to this nonsense. This like daily storm of nonsense.
We've all worked too hard. They don't
they put together at least a pandemic response team. I will give them that.
know what the hell
They did have police reforms that they were using before you scuttled them 2 years ago.
they're doing. Some do, actually, but in a very
Thanks, Kapoor.
sinister way. Virtually every policy that has hurt black Americans for half a century, Joe Biden has supported or enacted.
I don't know that he was for you and your dad's feeling about renting to black people.
Done more for the black community in 4 years than Joe Biden has done in 47 years.
He was a public defender. That's how he started. You could argue that he defended Clarence Thomas and helped him get on the Supreme Court.
Racial justice begins with Joe Biden's retirement from
Yeah, racial justice. That's the side you're on.
public life. We are joined tonight by many outstanding Republican leaders. These are great people. We have two of our most distinguished, hardworking, wonderful friends, senators. They do a great job.
Great job.
Senator Jim
Inhofe.
Inhofe and James Lankford. Please stand up.
Fist pump, clap, clap, clap. Fist pump, clap, clap, clap.
Two very respected, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Two very respected people in Washington. They're respected by everybody. They do some job, and I'd have you come up, but you can relax. I will say this. Jim is running on November 3rd. Jim Inhofe. He's running on November 3rd. I don't even know. Hey, James, does he have any competition? Is somebody actually running against? There's no competition that he's got. I know he's got James's support. He's got my support. I give him 100% endorsement. Jim Inhofe.
Well, let's hope it sticks with your record. Sorry, Jim, you're going to lose your job this fall. Secondly, most of the people there aren't from Tulsa.
I give it to James, too, but he's not
A lot of these people can't even vote in Oklahoma.
running this time. Thank you. Jim, great job. Thank you very much. What a great senator he is. Also here,
super good.
Is a man who's respected by so many.
Why is he there then?
He's a little bit right of the people we've been talking about tonight. Senator Tom Cotton of the great state of Arkansas.
Why is he there? Man named after the substance between his ears.
Thank you, Tom.
All the philosophical depth of a used mattress.
They like you people. Thank you, Tom. Great job you're doing. We're glad to be joined as well by a man that I've gotten to know. He's done an incredible job with COVID and with everything else he touches. Governor Kevin Stitt.
Maybe don't touch anything that's got COVID on it. Wow.
Thank you both. Thank you both for being here. Thank you. Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Matt. And Representatives Frank Lucas, Tom Cole. He's been here for a little while. He's done an incredible job.
Oh, God, this is dull.
Mark Wayne Mullen.
Is this the credits?
I don't want to fight with him.
Which of this?
I want to put him and Jim Jordan in a match together. I want to.
What?
Kevin Hearn. Great job today.
What? Would you want to watch two men on your own side wrestle?
The great Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan.
Not wearing a jacket. On brand. No, there's probably a sexual assault happening right over his right shoulder, but he's not going to look. He's not going to look.
Elise Stefanik.
Stefanik?
Lee
Stefanik?
Zeldin.
Stefanik, you mean? Stefanik? She kissed your ass all during the Russiagate stuff, and you're saying, and what is that face? Stefanik? It's putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable again. Good God.
Tom Emmer. Tom, thank you. These are warriors, folks. These are great warriors.
People.
During the fake impeachment trial, I'll tell you what, there was nobody that could have done the job they've done. That includes the Senate and the House. These people are incredible.
Yeah, incredible. So much so you can't even pronounce Elise Stefanik's last name.
David Kutzoff. David.
Just flown there on the I guess on the public's dime.
A great friend of mine, Debbie Lesko, Arizona. Great job, Debbie. Great job. And a man who's got very good genes, Greg Pence. We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President, Mike Pence, and his wonderful wife, Karen. Thank you all. Great job. They're great people. They are. They're warriors. I'll tell you what. Not every person is, but this group is, and we have a lot of them in Washington. And we'll send Jim Inhofe back, and we'll send all of them. You'll send.
These people are getting tired. Look at the neck scratching and the. Okay, enough of this bullshit.
Everyone.
We stood in line all day to stand here.
They have to come back because they have been fighting for us, and they've been fighting for you.
They're not fighting for them. They're fighting for you. That's the only reason you brought them.
They are just incredible.
Because they desperately wanted a free trip to Oklahoma.
Incredible, talented, tough, strong people that love your state a lot. So thank you very much.
They need Inhofe, and they need this crowd.
So we built the greatest single economy in the world. And then we say,
treasure bath.
Not only the world, but actually in the history of the world. And they never even challenged me. So I guess.
Well, because it's ridiculous.
Right. We did it.
They never
We had the
challenge
best
it.
numbers anybody's ever had. We had the best employment numbers. African American, Hispanic American, Asian American. The best employment numbers in history. The best stock market numbers in history.
Yeah, same arc that's been going up since the 90s. No, this is totally confusing. This is garbage.
We were the envy of the world. Everybody would come in to see me. Presidents, prime minister, kings, queens, and dictators.
And they're like, how do you get away with all this crime when they have such a strong legal system here? And I just blow it off.
Dictators would even come in and say, congratulations on the economy. And then the plague came in, and now what we're doing is we're doing it again, and it's going fast. We have to have a lot of it done because people don't quite get it. We're doing record business. It's happening at a level and a speed that nobody can believe. 2 weeks ago,
You dumped $6.4 trillion on the economy.
numbers came in. The single biggest number in the history of our country.
That's because everybody wasn't working and they went back to work. You didn't create new jobs. Not a single new job was created. Not a single one. What are you talking about? You didn't create those jobs. This is the goofiest. This is right up there with you test more, you have more cases.
Last week, retail sales numbers came in. Retail sales. The single greatest number
Percentage
in the history of our country. So here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to
because
happen.
people were staying at home and ordering things.
They blame a president for anything. When you
Yeah, you're in charge. Weren't you the one who said that Obama's responsible for every Ebola case?
see
He should hug everyone with Ebola?
looters, even though we put them down, if we didn't stop them, nobody would, because the other side will never stop.
Put them down. Jesus.
But they always blame a president. Here's what's happening. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up, we're going to go up. Then we're going to hit October. We're going to be up. We're going to be way up. We're not going to be where we were, but in many ways, other than all of the horrible, horrible death that was
Other than that, other than the horrible, horrible death,
so needlessly caused by a virus that should have been stopped where it originated, which was China.
so you allowed the largest bio attack on the United States ever, and you want to be reelected. And secondly, we got it the same day South Korea did. They have like 300 deaths.
But we're going to go
Like, I mean, honest to God, not even on the same chart.
up, 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 up. August, September, October. And people are going to say, man, this guy's doing a good job. He knows what he's doing. I don't believe the fake news anymore. And you're not going to want to lose your 401ks. And you're not going to want to lose all of that wealth that you've accumulated, whether it's real estate wealth or any wealth you can think, because it'll all come tumbling down if these people are put in charge and if they double and triple and quadruple your
They're going to blow up his casino in Atlantic City next year because it's being imploded because it's been vacant so long. It's a death trap.
taxes. It'll be a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, Trump 2020. Other than all the horrible death, this guy's doing a good job.
So I'm not putting any pressure on anybody, but in the end, we're going to have a phenomenal economy. And next year, we're going to have a good third quarter. But next year, and I said it before, will be the single greatest year economically that we've ever had. Okay?
Yeah, because Biden will be president.
And if you see that happening, if you see it happening on November 3rd, you don't have the guts to vote against Trump. Even you don't have the guts to vote against Trump. Say, wait a minute, darling, my 401k is higher than it was the last time. I don't think I want to take a chance. You're not going to want to do that. The stock market.
Jesus Christ. You won't have the guts. These are all your sycophants. You actually found somebody in that crowd wearing all this gear. Like, nobody's even allowed in there. Like, well, I guess these two guys in the black shirts or whatever, the two guys auditioning for Antifa, they get to not wear the gear. But there's apparently somebody there who thinks it's an act of guts to vote against you
has been the best. Think of this. Go back 1 week and go back 50 days. In that
and go back to the Obama administration when the economy went from 6,400 to 19,600, where we were losing 125,000 jobs a month to a net positive in the first 4 years, beyond even into the second term. I mean, you could argue that if we had skipped your presidency entirely and the Obama economy had just gone in the trajectory that it was going, it would be higher now, just like the money your dad gave you. If you'd have just put it in the bank and let it sit, or put it in the stock market, you'd be richer now than all these stupid deals you've made, and you wouldn't owe all this money to China and Russia. Kind of like that.
50-day period, it's the strongest 50 days in the history of...
No, it isn't. You're going by percentages. If again, Schaumburg, Illinois was at one time the fastest growing country in their city in the entire country because there were 4 people and 8 people moved in. Oh my God, we've got 100% growth.
The stock market, think of it.
We got 200% growth.
And your wife or your husband says, darling, I love you so much. You are such a great investor. And all you did is just keep the same crap you had the first time. Right? Darling, I love you so much.
Yeah, imagine if you just started with 6,400 where Obama was and kept the same crap in the stock market and it went to 19.6.
You've always been a loser. You've always lost money. But now under President Trump, you're one of the greatest financial minds in our country. And all you did was keep your stock. Now, if you think you're going to run against, they're going crazy. They want the stock market to go down.
No.
Even if it costs them money.
No.
They want the stock market to go down, even if it costs them money. And they don't even know why. You know what? They're smart and they're vicious. But they don't know why. I'm telling you.
They're smart, they're vicious, but they don't know why.
They don't know why. What's wrong with having the strongest military brand new in the world all built? What's wrong with having...
Because we already have a military that's 6 times bigger than the top 5 countries on Earth combined. And we're not, and it's peacetime.
Great economic numbers. What's wrong with having to close it down? We saved millions of lives. You know, a lot of people say we should have gone herd. Let's go herd.
No, nobody said we should have gone herd.
Ask him, how are they doing in Brazil? He's a great friend of mine. Not good. You heard about Sweden, right? Too much. Ask him how they doing in Sweden. We said,
yeah, those are all your friends. This was your idea. We did this when you were doing the Fauci press gaggles. He goes, I'm the one who said, what happens if we just let it go?
Millions of lives, and now it's time to open up, get back to work, okay?
Everybody's saying, why don't we go herd? And we're like, well, we'll go herd now. I'm tired of waiting. You know, I'm afraid it will affect my election chances, so why don't we just go herd and forget about it? No, he does not understand herd. And by the way, what the shit do you think this is? These folks.
I recently signed groundbreaking criminal justice reform. I secured record and permanent funding for historically black colleges and universities.
While killing most of the grants that make them possible.
We slashed regulations and passed massive tax cuts to give black workers a pay raise like they've never, ever gotten before.
And still haven't gotten, and also temporary tax breaks for individuals, permanent ones for
lift up black-owned businesses. And I work closely with a great senator,
Tim Scott,
friend of theirs, Senator Tim Scott.
The black senator, the one Republican black guy. Please mention Ben Carson as well.
South Carolina.
Like, the tokenism is so embarrassing.
To create opportunity zones.
Yeah, you mean like enterprise zones or promise zones? What are the opportunity zones? We've gone over this before. It's a tax break if you want to invest. If you lose money, it's on the taxpayer. If you make money, you get to keep it. You don't have to, though, and there are no programs associated with it.
Which
promise zones had programs. Opportunity zones don't. enterprise zones had actual forward lending, like making sure that these areas got loans backed by the government. Opportunity zones are like, well, you have the opportunity to do it, but you also have the opportunity not to.
Doing incredibly. And since then, countless jobs and $100 billion.
They're countless because they don't exist.
Of new
can't count fart air.
Not government investment, have poured into 9,000 of our most distressed neighborhoods anywhere in the country. 9,000. Never happened before. Tim Scott. Today I'm also announcing that I have directed Secretary of the Interior David Bernhardt to place the John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Park here in Tulsa on the African American Civil Rights Network. So many of my friends have been asking me to do that. So many of my friends, including these great politicians.
How does this help African American businesses adding a park to this? And why is this such a big deal? Why would you even wait to do this?
So we're going to do that. It'll be done very quickly. We will forever remember and honor the courageous people who helped build this state and this country. Democrats are stoking division in order to...
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're stoking division.
...distract from their decades of failure on schools, jobs, housing, justice, and crime.
It's weird because crime has been going down since 1992. Education is going up. More women are graduating than men now, actually. It's transitioned, but there's more people getting college degrees than ever before. That's one of the reasons why Democrats are so focused on college debt, because quite frankly, so many people are getting degrees compared to the populace 30 years ago.
Major city public schools run by Democrats, over 2/3 of students are falling behind in reading and math, and I think the numbers are worse than that.
Yeah, well, judging from this crowd.
But Democrats...
That's why you had to print your own signs so you wouldn't have a bunch of people holding up the "dur signs.
...would rather deny these children the future they deserve than allow them to attend the charter, public, private, religious, or independent schools of their choice. Pro-choice. Pro-choice.
Yeah, they're going to bug you about that languaging later.
Pro-choice for schools.
But not for women's lives.
It's very popular, but some people it's like a disaster because what it does to...
Because it underfunds the schools in the area and you're not going to fund them federally?
Unions that have a lot of power over the Democrats, even though...
Oh, teachers. Ugh, they're the worst, aren't they?
No, it's wrong.
The worst kind of special interests. I mean, it's one thing to, do deals with Enron and Russian mobsters and have 2 floors in your building running the sex trafficking and cocaine for years and illegal gambling in New York City. But the teachers union, Jesus.
Republicans believe access to education is a civil right. It's a civil right.
Yeah, letting the 10 schools in an area die so you can have 2 schools jammed full and nobody can get into them.
20 of the most dangerous cities in America are controlled by Democrats.
They also have the highest economies.
20 of 20. And so is nearly every major city with a child poverty rate that's over 30%. They're controlled by Democrats. We can name...
No, because the areas like Appalachia and South Carolina, that thread, nobody even bothers to count those.
Every one of them. The murder...
They're not even cities. They don't count as cities. They're just giant swaths of land. Check out the rest of Oklahoma.
In Baltimore and Detroit is higher than El Salvador, Guatemala, or even Afghanistan. How are they doing, the Democrats running those cities? Your whole country will be like that.
Yeah, they put Michigan had, a city governor from the state to limit how they spent their money in Detroit.
In 2018.
But again, what's in Detroit? What's the industry in Detroit? And who was against the auto bailout?
Alone, our police arrested nearly 12,000 people for murder and manslaughter. 25,000 people for rape and nearly 1.5 million for assault, violent assault. The
As opposed to Tickles assault?
Democrats push against our police will drive up crime.
Wait, then why are you letting them out of jail with your criminal justice reform then?
And drive up costs at levels you'd never believe. Thousands of innocent lives will be lost.
Yeah, it's just going to be murder in the streets.
President, I will always support the
It'll be like there's a Dylan Roof. Oh.
incredible men and women of law in
Dylan Roof is a rough example of those Democrats. Or the guy who shot up the Pulse nightclub. I mean, those guys, they're just radical Democrats all
enforcement. A vote for Republicans is a vote for
Russia.
Better schools, better jobs, safer families, and stronger communities for all Americans.
Generic statement, generic statement, generic statement. No backup.
There's a limit to what we can together achieve with 4 more years.
There is a limit. I think what he meant to say was there's no limit to what we can achieve, but he said there's a limit to what we can achieve with 4 more years. What are you saying? You need 8 more years?
With your help.
And by the way, please, please, please make it illegal or make it legal for you to run for more than, for another term, because then Obama will run against you and he'll stomp you flat. Electorally speaking.
We'll lift millions of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and poverty to prosperity. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Totally, you can tell.
And that's
what all the rioting is about. It's just people are just tired of having so much money. All these people, all the civil unrest, it's just people exhausted from winning.
Happening at a level that nobody ever thought they'd see. It was happening before this COVID came in.
COVID.
It was happening at a level that nobody believed possible. And then China sent us the plague. Thank you very much.
The plague?
We will protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors, and will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. Oh,
How? No, you're not.
Always.
You can't do it. My hand to God. Wait, which one did I hold the Bible and shake it in?
We will appoint more judges to interpret the Constitution as written. We will end deadly sanctuary cities. We will finish the wall, which has now 212 miles built and beautiful.
It's just repaired. They change it over all the time. Oh,
212 miles. That's a lot of miles.
What was it? It's going to be 500 extra miles by the end of the year. Right.
And let me tell you, you think that was an easy one? That was a tough one. That party was totally unified against building the wall. You know, in the end, they gave up. You know what happened? They realized it was a bad issue for them because these open borders. I love when they fight for open borders because
Nobody's fighting for open borders. We just don't need walls on mountain ranges like it's the Great Wall of China. It's embarrassing and stupid. And people dig under it. They come over it. There's smart ways to deal with it.
From rough areas, there's something wrong with those people. So did you notice in the end it was like, just leave us alone, build your wall, just leave us alone. I said, thank you very much.
No, you were just taking money from the Pentagon, from the VA. You didn't get the money, so you just started wrangling around it. You stopped asking Congress for it because you knew you weren't going to get it. Garbage.
And we will elect a Republican Congress to create a fair, safe, sane, and lawful system of immigration that puts American workers first. We will revive.
Which is why you're for migrant workers coming across into Texas and Arizona and New Mexico and
our cities,
coming into Florida.
And we will build gleaming new roads bridges, tunnels, and airports all
right, it's Infrastructure Week. Dude, I forgot it was Infrastructure Week.
across our land. We will enact new
This is all just to announce Infrastructure Week. Look, people are
trade
already
deals
packing up their shit
that
and getting
result
ready to
in
go.
more products. Proudly stand
Little
with
clapping.
that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. Mew, it's so beautiful.
Mew. It's so beautiful. What is that? Chinese tie, Chinese pin.
So beautiful. Made in the USA. That's happening too. We have so many plants.
I don't know about the
into
suit. I've been trying to figure that
Michigan
part of it out, and I'm fairly certain his suits are made by MyPillow.
so many other states. We have car plants coming in. Would have never come if I wasn't president. Would
Japanese car plants?
never come.
Japanese car plants, they're coming in, so they're South Korean car plants?
We will become the world's premier pharmacy, drugstore, and medical manufacturer. That's already started. We're bringing it back. We will keep America out of foolish,
So he made the deal with-
stupid,
All right. He's made a deal with India to make a bunch of stuff, and they're going to ship it over here.
ridiculous foreign wars. We will never hesitate to kill America's terrorist enemies.
Almost, whoops, that was almost a slip.
You know, when I took over, ISIS was all over the place. And I did something that I felt we should do. And we have now obliterated, we have now captured 100% of the ISIS caliphate. 100.
No. They thought that was true a year and a half ago. It's not true anymore.
And like our depleted military when I took over, like our empty shelves medically when I took over, like all of the things that when I took over, it was a mess. We have done a good job. You had to see what ISIS was doing. They were getting bigger. I came in smaller. Sir, we've just taken 100%. We will launch a new age.
Thanks so much. And thanks, Scar 4711. Thanks for that.
American ambition in space, and the United States will be the first nation to land on Mars. Good program. You saw the beautiful rocket 3 weeks ago go up. Beautiful. We will defend privacy, free thought.
So, I mean, his flourishes of language are gorgeous. You saw the beautiful rocket go up. Fantastic.
Free speech, religious liberty, and the right to keep and bear arms.
Nothing says Christianity like a Glock with 15 rounds.
And when you see those lunatics all over the streets, it's damn nice to have arms. Damn nice.
Damn nice to have arms. Well, it's nice to be able to applaud. Whatever. By the way, can't shoot, can't drive a car, couldn't operate a bow and arrow to save his life, can barely operate a glass of water.
Interesting how all of a sudden people understand it, right? You couldn't sell it. Now people understand it. The right to keep and bear arms will protect your Second Amendment. Above all, we will never stop fighting for the sacred values that bind us together as one America. We will support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. We uphold the principle of equal justice under the law. We believe in the dignity of work and the sanctity of life. We believe that faith and family, not government and bureaucracy, are the true American way.
They're so excited that this is almost over. Yeah, he did.
Chase. We believe that children should be taught to love our country, honor our history, and always salute our great American flag.
You don't salute it. You put your hand over your heart. Unless you're in the military.
And we live by the words of our national motto. It will never change. In God we trust. We stand on the shoulders.
That's not our national motto.
Of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trails, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, dug out the Panama Canal, laid down the railroads, revolutionized industries, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and
avoided fighting by claiming we had bone spurs and called AIDS our personal Vietnam.
Made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and we are making it greater and greater every single day. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning the power to you, the American people.
By handing it over to special interests, the Russians, the Chinese, the Saudis, by selling them the ammo and the guns and the boats and the technology that we make here in America, so that if they ever fight us, they'll have the best stuff in the world. And to make sure that my loans get carried by foreign interests as long as I continue to muck up our alliances overseas.
With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep...
Did his chin get bigger while we were watching this?
...on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning.
Oh, God, please finish.
We are one movement, one people.
One bowel movement.
People, one family, and one glorious nation under God. America will soon be thriving like
America, one nation, indivisible.
Never before, because, ladies and gentlemen of Oklahoma, the best is yet to come.
See what I did there? He's gonna end this like animal from the Muppets or the Cookie Monster. He's gonna eat the podium.
Together we will make America wealthy again.
Oh, we're gonna go.
We will make America strong again.
Yeah, they don't.
We will make America proud again.
He doesn't know which one it is.
We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you, Oklahoma. Thank you.
Please pull back. Pull back. Let's see the big empty arena. Just the flourish, it's the Stokes song. Jesus. That's also, I don't know what that is. The whirly finger, fist pump, clap. Like this has become a tick. God. Yes, Mick Jagger, the Rolling Stones said stop it. They're just doing it anyways. Cannot wait to get out of here. But they only get paid if they stand. Could have put a ramp out there and walked down it instead of telling a big stupid story. This is like the end of a 1970s special about a fading artist who died. Great shot, by the way. Oh my God, that was it. Oh, good. We could watch Tucker Carlson next. Jesus, so embarrassing. This was the whole thing. Got this live at Tulsa. They played the whole thing out on this one. Yeah, this is him leaving. Oh, no. We're not, I'm not, he just left. They just killed it as soon as he walked back. Thank you very much. And that was it. Oh, God, that was intolerable. Jesus. Oh, no, I'm not listening. From the lakes. Oh, my God. Guys, thank you so much for getting through that with me. That was a tooth pull. What a bunch of dribble. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going to go listen to that song, right? Yeah. Literally spent more time talking about the ramp and the glass of water. And what was the other stupid story? I blanked on it now. Than about the VA or anything. Like, just look how it all... Oh, the plane, right. Air Force One, thank you. Good God. And who cares? And you can't... What is with him? This is not hard, okay? Can I just say for the record, I've always thought of running for office as kind of a far-off thing for myself, as something I'm going to do in my 60s. You know, I think that's an appropriate time as a human being to go, you know what? I've accumulated enough wisdom and I understand how plans are made and executed and what happens if you have, if one doesn't work and you need to find an alternative, like at that age, you've been through enough of that stuff. You also have hopefully some empathy because you've been through enough loss in your own life and you've experienced stuff that when you see people going through those similar things, you can identify with them and go, okay, how, even if we disagree on the methodology, how can we come to some conclusion where we could both fix this together, But so much of this, when I'm watching this, like, how easy would this shit be? Like, I don't want to help this asshole, but this is not hard. This is not heavy lifting. He comes out, if he came out there and just whined about how veterans were treated at the VA or the black mold issue that they had, some other stuff along those lines, how foreign leaders had taken advantage of us. Thanks so much, Mark. We got through it. Jesus. A super chat for watching this dribble. It's rough. But again, I do this because I don't want to ever be accused of, you only took this little part. So there's so much of this where he could get the same high, one would think, from coming out here and just flexing his superiority, which is apparently what he thinks he's doing. But you could do it within a context that you actually benefit yourself and the people. I just don't think he's intellectually capable of grasping any of it. It's just bizarre. Like, I mean, it seems like he was hit with a brick. Like, it is so awkward. That was just the most sick obscenity yet from Donnie. Oh, there'll be worse. There will be worse. Thanks, Mark, by the way, again, and thanks to Frankie Smith and Gapul for the bits. I don't know if I said thank you in the Twitch chat for doing that. That was really awesome. And Scooter, thank you so much. Good to see you again. And Julius, always fun. Thanks for the follow, Christian. And Bronwyn Fox and Natalie, always good to see you. And enjoy your cocktail or mocktail. I always have mocktails. You know me. I don't drink. No drugs. Just naturally weird. And Holleberry, thank you so much. And thanks for the follow, Cascadian Mountie. That's very nice. And Julius, again, thank you. And Georgina Poole and Just Runge for the follow. Earlier today, I don't know that I got a chance because of the hang up to thank Joe and Holleberry and Lisa Mia Moore and Guido Day, and Christina Thornburg and Bob and V. Gabriel and Joyce. Thank you again. and V. Gabriel again, and Christina F., and Brian and Julius, who hit us off right out of the start. And then all Liberty B, thank you for the super hearts. And you too, Lipschitz. That was really cool, by the way. That was really cool, by the way. Where's that one? Hold on. In here somewhere. There it is.
That was really cool, by the way.
I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go eat and rest, and I adore you guys. I will see you come the morn. It's been a long day. Today was a long one. Jesus. Used to love virgin pina coladas, probably still do. Haven't had one in years. Well, if you have another one, I'll have one with you. Can't stop lying. I look forward to hanging out, even if it's just for tea at some point in the near future. I think we've both been sequestered long enough to know that we haven't encountered COVID. It's probably a safe get-together. We'll practice social distancing and elbow bumping. It'll be good. But you guys take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else. I don't want to. So how do I do this? I've been trying to keep my energy and my joy up a little bit, but I got some bad news today about someone who used to be in my life, who passed away, and I had lost contact with them. And it was a person who, over the years, I had made attempts to kind of check in on them, reconcile, see how they were. It was just a big mangled situation. My conscience is clear about how I behaved in the circumstance, but heartbroken that we never got a chance to smile in each other's presence again after, you know, having at least that time to clean it up. And well, she died, and there won't be that chance. And I have to reconcile in my life knowing that there was a wound that stayed open for a long time. And on my side, because I'm the one still living, I will carry some of that with me, because there was never a space to reconcile it. And so to all of you, I would say, reach out to that person, whoever they may be, even if it's just to get some closure for yourself, just in case. And maybe, just maybe, it's the thing they need to hear, and God knows what they're going through on their own. I had no idea what she was going through, because we hadn't been in touch for years, a friend of mine. And in spite of everything, she was just one of these people who never appreciated herself the way I thought she should have. She's one of those people who just never could bring herself, it seemed, to recognize her own gifts and worth. And you can't carry the weight of that for somebody else. But and she did not, she died of an illness. She did not take her own life. It is not one of those stories. But you can't carry that weight for somebody else to get them to like themselves, but you can interrupt the pattern that they maybe have, that nobody cares or whatever, as best you can, and reach out to that person. So, you know, Can't Stop Lying and I talk about this all the time, about reaching out to somebody who may be off your radar, or somebody who you do talk to all the time, but you don't tell them how you feel about them. And it's about time. Now's a good time. Now's a good time to do that. And yeah, I can't go any further into it because it's, you know, the privacy of that person and their life. It's the details aren't even important to this. It's the lesson we all learn when something like this happens, when someone is taken, and you hope there would be a time when you could see a smile on their face again, and you're not going to get that chance again. That's gone forever. Be aware that life can be like that, and live your life with a respect for that possibility with everybody that you know. You don't have to carry the weight of missing everybody every single day, but remind yourself of their value while they're here as much as you can. That's what I would say. So, yeah. I just wish, and I always wish this, that people knew or felt their worth the way I did. And a lot of people struggle with that. And sometimes you can't be the one to remind them. Maybe it won't be you. But if there's a chance at all that you're the one that could do it, I would say take that chance. So, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you every day. If I'm not on tomorrow, have a happy Sunday. Usually Sunday's off, but sometimes I'm, I'll jump on and we'll have something if something comes up. But if not, I'll see you guys Monday, 3 o'clock, my time, Pacific. And take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And I may be announcing a live show next Friday. So I'll keep you guys posted. I have to decide tomorrow. And I'll only be doing it if I can do it safely. And it's, it's specific. Yeah, anyways, that's it. And to all the fathers out there, I love you and appreciate you as a father and as a son. Thank you for all the hard work you do and the weight you carry and the strength you show and the guidance you give. And I know that, honest to God, in our society, fatherhood is taken so much for granted. And when I see somebody doing what I had to do many, 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 many times, walking alone through an airport, carrying a car seat for a kid they are picking up or dropping off to see for whatever scrap of time that they can have, I know what you felt. I know the exhaustion and the weight of that and the sadness. So I salute you and I appreciate you, and so does your kid. So take care, everybody. I'll see you sometime in the next 24 hours. Let's just put it that way. All right. Take care of yourself. Bye, everybody. Today. That's a little better.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
News for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now. Jack and shit. Jack left town.
Sportos, motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads. They all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
Thank you, Doc. You ever serve time?
You'll have nobody guarding your potatoes.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Did you hear that? Yeah. It's a dick for. What's a dick for?
To pee with.